your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
My name is Rustin Broussard. I am the Math Department Chair here at St. Ignatius College Prep. I think one of the things that I like the most about being the Math Department Chair here is observing my other teachers and seeing them in action and promoting those skills and passion, ideas for classroom learning within the department. The second thing that I really appreciate in our department is that we offer several programs for students to study additional mathematics, to take more math in their 4 years here. Our students here at St. Ignatius will experience a variety of math classes, and it's dependent upon the student's readiness and desire to study math. Some of our students will begin in Algebra 1, some will begin in Geometry, some will begin in Algebra 2, and then the class progression will continue along with some students finishing in Pre-Calculus, others finishing in Calculus or Multivariable Calculus, or even differential equations. The additional offerings from our department in addition to classes would be a math team which competes against other schools in competitions for state and at regional level. Our department also offers an opportunity for students to be nominated to participate in a summer actuarial academy, and that is conducted by the University of DePaul here in Chicago, and it's a 1-week opportunity to learn more about actuarial sciences. Our students will learn here in their math classes how to think, how to problem solve, how to use logic, and to make greater meaning of their world.
Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense, and Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world.
The Chicago White Sox are hosting Game 2 of the World Series against the Houston Astros. Tied 6-6 in the bottom of the ninth inning. Leadoff hitter Scott Podsednik is at the plate, and while Podsednik went to the All-Star game earlier this season, Sox manager Ozzie Guillen is definitely not anticipating a walk-off home run finish to this particular ballgame. The Sox lead 1-0 in the series, but a potential 2-0 series edge, or the game potentially going into extra innings, is just a taste of the drama both teams have experienced lately. This is just the second World Series game in Astros franchise history. And for the White Sox, last night's Game 1 win was the ball club's first World Series victory since Game 5 of the 1959 Fall Classic. Houston, meanwhile, is still looking for its first ever World Series win. Therefore, a lot is riding on this 2-1 pitch. So let's rewind. Scott Podsednik, sometimes known simply as Scotty Pods by fans of the Southsiders, is starting to become a fan favorite. The White Sox had a formidable lineup of Carlos Lee, Bagley Ordonez, Paul Konerko, and Frank Thomas going into the 2005 offseason, but after finishing in second place to those pesky Minnesota Twins in 3 consecutive seasons, General Manager Ken Williams pulled off one of the biggest blockbuster trades in Chi Sox history by dumping Lee's contract to the Milwaukee Brewers and acquiring the speedster in Podsednik. Just like that, Williams dumped a 30-homer, 100 RBI guy for the relatively unknown commodity in Podsednik. The theory was Podsednik would help bring a new dimension of speed and small ball mentality to the Sox. Williams wanted to change the direction of the franchise with a speedy and up-and-coming ball player who could frustrate opposing pitching staffs on the base pass, similar to what the Twins were doing with Lou Ford, Torrey Hunter, Luis Rivas, and Christian Guzman. And Williams' bold trade turned out to be a great one. The first half of the season saw Podsednik steal 4 bases in a game on 2 different occasions, with Scotty Pods making the All-Star team as the final vote candidate. His batting average hovered around 300, and he stole 59 bases for the Sox. The trade was still good for Milwaukee, as Lee finished with a career-high 32 home runs and 114 RBs. Williams actually changed the entire White Sox lineup. Frank Thomas was out most of the 2005 regular season and postseason due to a bone fracture. Ordonez signed with the Tigers during the 05 offseason. Jermaine Dye became the everyday right fielder, and Williams brought in 30-year-old Japanese rookie Tadahito Iguchi become the everyday second baseman and 2-hole hitter. Iguchi became a key cog in the Sox lineup, with his 3-run homer in Game 2 of the ALDS against the Boston Red Sox being the climax of a very impressive 3-game sweep at the hands of the defending champions. Everything was different about this White Sox team. The mantra became win or die trying, as White Sox small ball, or Aussie ball, as was sometimes referred to in the Chicago Sun-Times and Chicago Tribune, became the team's identity. Instead of Lee cranking dingers to left field, Podsednik would steal bases, Iguchi would get him over, and Jermaine Dye or Paul Konerko would drive him in with the crucial RBI hit. However, the average baseball fan wanted to call it. The Sox overcame the odds and stopped the Twins from winning a 4th straight AL Central crown. But the White Sox actually had to go toe-for-toe, tick-for-tack with the Cleveland Guardians to see who would represent the AL Central in the playoffs. It was a crazy year for the Sox. By August 1st, the Palhosers were up 15 games on the Cleveland Guardians. Incredibly, that lead became a meager 1.5 games as the Guardians went 19-8 during the month of August. A turning point for the White Sox came on September 20th against Cleveland. Joe Greedy's walk-off home run in the bottom of the 10th increased the White Sox division lead to 3.5 games. It was a 2-win swing, and it gave the White Sox enough breathing room for them to hold for the division crown. Even more interesting, Cleveland missed out on the postseason entirely after its amazing run. The Guardians/Indians lost 6 of their last 7 games, allowing the Red Sox to sneak in as the wild card representative. It was a tough pill to swallow for Indians fans, as this team went from a 48-47 record to almost upending the Sox for the division pennant. Instead, the Indians missed out on the playoffs for yet another year, their 4th straight season without a playoff appearance. The White Sox cruised past the aforementioned Red Sox, but the ALCS was a slightly different story. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim won Game 1 in Chicago, with Podsednik and catcher A.J. Pierzynski getting caught on stolen base attempts. Game 2 was a game to remember, as it was just a 1-1 tie with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. With 2 strikes on him, Pierzynski swung at a splitter out of the strike zone. The White Sox starting catcher thought the ball hit the dirt, and without instant replay in effect, home plate umpire Doug Eddings awarded first base to Pierzynski via the drop 3rd strike. It honestly looked like a bad call by Eddings on replay, as Angel catcher Josh Paul clearly seemed to have caught the ball. It was new life for the Sox, and they wouldn't relinquish the opportunity. Pablo Ozuna pinch ran for Brzezinski. Greedy had a walk-off double, and the Sox dominated the Angels in Anaheim by each of their 3 starting pitchers, John Garland, Freddie Garcia, and Jose Contreras, all throwing complete games. The White Sox won all 3 games in Anaheim to enter the Fall Classic in more than 4 decades. It all started with a controversial drop-third strike allowance by Eddings. If not for the drop-third strike, the Angels could have won in extra innings and been up 2-0. Oh, the days of no instant replay. Some nicknamed the White Sox the curse of the Black Sox, as the Sox have only played in 1 World Series since the infamous Black Sox gambling scandal. That is, until 2005 began. And to put salt on an open wound, Chicago's defeats in the 1983 and 1993 ALCS were to the eventual World Series winners in the Baltimore Orioles and Toronto Blue Jays. But times might be changing as the White Sox eliminated their curse of the Bambino by winning the Fall Classic just last season. The White Sox are now up 1-0 with a golden chance to win its first World Series since 1917. In fact, the Sox have not won more than 2 World Series games since 1919. But the Astros are also a Cinderella story. Since joining Major League Baseball as the Houston Colt 45s, the Astros entered the 2005 season without a single World Series appearance. Prior to 2005, the Astros were basically major choke artists come October. In 1980, the Philadelphia Phillies won the Fall Classic, but it could have easily been Houston. Back then, the NLCS was only best of 5, and Houston led 5-2 of Game 5, entering the top of the 5th at the old Astrodome. Phillies scored 5 runs at the top of the 7th. The Astros would tie the score at 7 with a late 2-out rally, but Gary Maddox's go-ahead RBI double in the top of the 10th became the game winner, as Houston couldn't mount another comeback after going down 1-2-3 in the bottom half of the inning. It was heartbreaking for the Stros, as they had Nolan Ryan on the mound in this do-or-die Game 5, but Ryan gave up 6 earned runs through his 7 innings of work. Philadelphia went on to win the 1980 World Series, a team which Houston had on the ropes during the National League Championship Series. Because of the 1981 player strike, there was a division series in the postseason. Houston won the second half of the year, so they got to face off against Los Angeles. The Astros won the first 2 games of the NLDS, but the 2-3 format allowed LA to host all 3 elimination games, and the Dodgers went a perfect 3-for-3 at Dodger Stadium. The Astros went ice cold to plate, as the Stros scored a mere 2 runs during all 3 games. And if you can believe it, the Dodgers went on to win the 1981 World Series. The 1986 NLCS was just as bad, if not more gut-wrenching for the Astros faithful. Mike Scott, the ace of the Astros pitching staff, was the NLCS MVP despite his team's losing effort. Dave Smith was anything but automatic as the Astros closer. Up by a run during Game 3 at Shea Stadium, he gave up a 2-run digger to Lenny Dykstra, propelling the Mets to a thrilling 6-5 walk-off victory. The Astros trailed 3-2 as the series headed back to the largest city in Texas. Theoretically speaking, Scott was so dominant in the series that Houston just had to win Game 6 to allow Scott to pitch in a winner-go-home Game 7. Bob Knepper was Houston's starter in Game 6, and he pitched 8 scoreless innings, but he showed signs of fatigue during the top of the 9th, and after he gave up 2 runs in the last inning of regulation, manager Hal Lanier decided to give Smith another shot at closer. Smith just flat-out stunk most of the series. He walked the first 2 batters he saw, paving the way for Ray Knight to drive in the game-tying run on a subsequent sacrifice fly. It was a crushing collapse, as the Astros were 2 outs away from forcing Game 7 with Scott on the mound. The same Mike Scott who had an ERA of .5 and walked just 1 batter during his combined starts in Games 1 and 4. The Astros fought hard the rest of the game. After the Mets scored a run on the top of the 14th, Billy Hatcher kept his team's season alive with a game-tying homer off the left field foul pole. But it wasn't meant to be for Houston, as the Astros gave up 3 runs in the top of the 16th. The Astros scored twice in the bottom half of the inning, but bullpen arm Jesse Orasco eliminated the extra inning rally by striking out Kevin Boss with a runner on second. After all that hard work, the Astros season ended in an MLB playoff high 16 innings. For the 3rd straight time, the team who defeated the Astros in the playoffs went on to win the World Series as the Mets defeated the Red Sox during the '86 Fall Classic. From 1987 until 2003, the Astros never got any closer to a World Series appearance, and the Astros almost relocated to Virginia as former owner Drayton McClain seriously considered selling the team to William Collins. The Astros played in Houston after Collins couldn't get a stadium in place, and Houston voters responded positively to a stadium referendum to avoid losing the Astros just like they lost the Oilers. The Astros saw a resurgence in the late 90s and early 2000s, but the Atlanta Braves became Houston's kryptonite as the Braves defeated the Astros 3 times during the National League Division Series, 1997, 1999, and 2001. 3 straight division titles from 97 to 99 didn't matter, as the Astros couldn't even win 2 games during the NLDS. They avoided the sweep until 2001, but they couldn't even advance to the NLCS in 1998 with Hall of Fame pitcher Randy Johnson on the roster. The 2004 Astros were a different story. Last season's ball club eradicated a 44-44 start to the year by going 46-26 down the stretch to win the NL wildcard. The Stros had to play against the Braves, but unlike the Larry Dierker-led squads, the Phil Garner-led Astros won the do-or-die Game 5 to advance to their first NLCS since 1986. While the Astros fought hard, losing the NL Central Division to the St. Louis Cardinals did in Houston, as the Cardinals won Game 7 at Busch Stadium. Even more soul-crushing, Houston led 3-2 in the series, but they lost both games in St. Louis, including a demoralizing 6-4 loss in 12 innings during Game 6. The Astros entered the 2005 season with high hopes, and even though Carlos Beltran signed as a free agent with the Mets, Houston still had the killer bees of Craig Biggio, Lance Berkman, and Jeff Bagwell in the heart of its batting order. A 15-30 start to the year worried Astros fans, but after a 22-7 record in July, the Stros were back on track to clinching another wild card berth. The Astros barely hung on to win the wild card, as they had to win on the last day of the season to hold off Charlie Manuel's Phillies. As if the baseball gods love it being Astros versus Braves, the Astros had to once again play the Braves through the 2005 NLDS. And like last season, the Astros began a new tradition of eliminating the Braves in the division series. This time around, it was a 4-game elimination, as Chris Burke had a walk-off solo shot at the bottom of the 18th to send the Astros back to the NLCS against St. Louis. It was the longest game in MLB postseason history. Looking for revenge against the Redbirds, the Astros won games 2 through 4 and almost won the pennant at Minute Maid Park, but Albert Pujols cranked a 3-run bomb from the arm of Brad Lidge, and the Astros had to win their first National League pennant on the road. Some analysts consider that home run to still be on the mind of Lidge going into the World Series.
It would have been nice to get Lidge in the game in Game 6 in St. Louis in the NLCS to get that taste out of his mouth from the Pujols home run. I don't think that taste is there.
Then again, Lidge was basically unhittable during most of the playoffs. There's no way Podsednik, who didn't hit a homer during the regular season, could hit a dinger against the all-star closer, right? And of all the people to give up a home run to Podsednik, Lidge would definitely be at the bottom of the list, according to Gambler's Odds. And for Lidge to even be in the spot is unbelievable. Remember, the Astros were down to their last out in the top of the 9th, but Jose Vizcaino put his name in baseball history by drilling a 2-out, 2-run single to left field to tie the score at 6. Perhaps Bobby Jenks was dead tired after having to get a 4-out save last night. Jenks inevitably blew the saves, but the Sox obtained its fair share of breaks earlier in the game to even be in that spot. The first such break occurred at the bottom of the 2nd inning. This ball should have been caught by Hall of Fame second baseman Biggio, but he somehow dropped the fly ball, allowing Brzezinski to score the go-ahead run. With 2 runners on base in the bottom of the 7th, home plate umpire Jeff Nelson determined that Dan Wheeler's fastball hit the batting glove of Jermaine Dye. Once again, instant replay verified that Nelson made the wrong call, as it sure seemed like the baseball hit the knob of the bat instead of hitting Dye. Garner was practically forced to go to the bullpen, and with the bases now loaded, he called upon Chad Qualls to try and jam the next hitter. Dye's hit by a pitch brought Konerko to the plate, and he capitalized on the first pitch with a 4-run 4-bagger to give Chicago its first lead since the 2nd inning. The breaks are seemingly going Chicago's way, but the Astros have fought hard to be in the position they're in right now. While he performed poorly during the last round, Lidge had a perfect 0 ERA during the 2004 NLCS and 2005 NLDS. He pitched 12 perfect innings during those rounds combined. During the 2004 regular season, he even received votes for the Cy Young Award. He's been very good in 2005, but his wins above replacement mark dropped significantly from 3.8 to now barely above 2. And to reiterate,
And here's a drive deep right field. This is going to go. That's the first home run he has hit this season.
Podsednik's lone homer of the season came during Game 1 of the 2005 ALDS against the Red Sox, a home run that didn't even factor into the game's final result. It was all intents purposes a meaningless homer. But Scotty Pods crushed a career-high 12 dingers last season for the Brew Crew, so the power is somewhat there for Podsednik. Will Lidge's mind be on straight, or will he be second-guessing himself after what happened to him in Houston against Pujols? Meaning, could Lidge accidentally leave a juicy fastball right in Podsednik's wheelhouse? Can Podsednik do what Konerko did 2 innings ago? Or will he try to do what he normally does and get a hit within the constraints of the ballpark? Podsednik is ahead in the count 2-1 with 2005 All-Star closer Lidge on the mound. Welcome to a moment in history.
The 2-1. A swing and a high fly ball. deep right center field. This is way back in the gap, and it's a gunner! A White Sox winner! A winner on a Podsednik home run, and the White Sox go up 2-0 in the 2005 World Series.
The White Sox went on to win games 3 and 4 and record its first ever World Series sweep and its first World Series title since 2007. Houston would not win a World Series game and subsequent title until 2017. Thanks for watching this Rewinder video. Make sure to subscribe below to never miss the action of Sports Broadcast Solutions.
When it comes to orthopedics, we've done something extraordinary here along Chicago's North Side lakefront. We've gathered experts in every orthopedic specialty to create the Chicago Center for Orthopedics at Weiss Memorial Hospital. Weiss Memorial Hospital was the first in the Chicago area to receive the Joint Commission's Gold Seal of Approval for hip and knee joint replacements. From hips to hands, from spine to feet, our specialists offer surgical and non-surgical care for all types of orthopedic problems and revisions. If you're ready to start living without pain, the orthopedic experts at the Chicago Center for Orthopedics at Weiss Memorial Hospital can help. Request an appointment today.
Welcome to the pregame show brought to you by Sports Broadcast Solutions. My name's Kyle Smith, but I don't matter. This young man matters. Stevenson Jeffries from Rufus King as they're about to take on St. Ignatius College Prep in a battle of Wisconsin against Illinois high school football here in Chicago. What do you think of this field at Fornelli Field, first of all?
Fornelli Field. First of all, I got to say the scenery is like absolutely beautiful. Like we don't see stuff around this with fields, especially in the city area of Milwaukee.
So, according to your human interest stories, you're a champion in the city for wrestling. How long have you been wrestling?
So I started wrestling freshman year, and then with sophomore year, we had a COVID year, so I couldn't really do much then, and then we kicked back in junior year, so that would make like 2 years wrestling.
So it's kind of interesting. It's Wisconsin against Illinois, Milwaukee versus Chicago. Does it feel different than a normal high school football game?
Oh, yeah. This feels like much more than like a regular football game because like in the city, a lot of the teams we face, they don't really give us much of a challenge. As you can see, our last 2 games, we're putting up more than 30 points on teams. So it definitely feels good to play a challenging opponent that can give us a run for our money.
You guys haven't even given up a point yet this season. Is that going to continue tonight against St. Ignatius? If so, what's it going to take for the defense to post that third straight shutout?
Hopefully, but we got to count on our defense making the right reads and playing their roles correctly.
Big-time matchup tonight. If Rufus King wins, does that mean Wisconsin is better than Illinois at football?
Oh yeah. Well, I just hope we have a good game, you know.
All right, Stevenson, good luck. That's Stevenson Jeffries. We'll take a break. You're watching the pregame show brought to you by SBS.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede.
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Welcome back to the pregame show brought to you by SBS. I'm Kyle Smith, but I don't matter. This young man matters. Nate White, the commit at the University of Wisconsin at Madison, as Rufus King is about to take on St. Ignatius College Prep in a battle of Wisconsin against Illinois. First of all, we talked to your teammate Stevenson Jeffries. What do you think about this magnificent field here at Fornelli Field?
It's pretty nice. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't look them up, but it's pretty nice.
Are you excited to be playing running back next year at the University of Wisconsin?
Yeah, very excited, yeah.
What does it take to get to that next level, to play Division I football for the young people that are watching tonight's broadcast?
I would just say don't skip any workouts, cut any corners, just do everything you're told to do, and that's all you have to do pretty much.
Well, Nate, you certainly haven't been cutting any corners. You're a 3-sport athlete, starter on the basketball team, and if you hadn't gotten injured, you would have been able to compete at the state level for track and field. What does that take to play 3 sports in a year?
Oh, well, for me, it's just all fun, so I just look at it as having fun. It's not really that much of a problem for me.
Some running backs are north and south, others like to do east and west. What kind of tailback are you?
I think I can do all of them.
Just give you the ball, you'll do the rest?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, it's more than just a high school football game, right? It's Wisconsin against Illinois. We talked to Stevenson. I wanted your point of view on it. If Rufus King wins, you're from Milwaukee, you're obviously in Chicago tonight. Does that mean Milwaukee football is better than Chicago if Rufus King wins tonight?
I'm not sure if that's what it would mean, but it'll definitely mean something. So.
Too small of a sample size to make that prediction?
Yeah.
Nate, final thoughts about the game tonight and just Wisconsin versus Illinois high school football in general?
I'm just ready to go out and have fun and work hard.
All right, that's Nate White. We're going to take a break. St. Ignatius football coming up next here on the pregame show.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics. And we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. Other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway, a 2-on-0. A shot, and it's goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. Other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway, a 2-on-0. A shot, and it's goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics. And we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway, a 2-on-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world.
My name is Mary Ellen Schneider, and I'm the Fine Arts Department Chair at St. Ignatius. I'm proud to say that we probably have at least 50% of the student body involved in one of the visual or performing arts throughout their career here. It's important for the students to be involved in the arts here because they learn something that they can enjoy for a lifetime. There's no cap on how old you can be to be a musician or a visual artist and create. Our talented students are very creative. Beautiful things are displayed around the school. They also get very excited about productions and concerts, performing for others. And there's so many options for you and so much for you to have fun with. I love being department chair because it's exciting to be able to lead a group of other artists and to see them be able to be involved in the arts. Sometimes at the high school level, it becomes very selective. We have so many things here that are inclusive of students at all levels.
My name is Rustin Broussard. I am the Math Department Chair here at St. Ignatius College Prep. I think one of the things that I like the most about being the Math Department Chair here is observing my other teachers and seeing them in action and promoting those skills and passion, ideas for classroom learning within the department. The second thing that I really appreciate in our department is that we offer several programs for students to study additional mathematics, to take more math in their 4 years here. Our students here at St. Ignatius will experience a variety of math classes, and it's dependent upon the student's readiness and desire to study math. Some of our students will begin in Algebra 1, some will begin in Geometry, some will begin in Algebra 2, and then the class progression will continue along with some students finishing in Pre-Calculus, others finishing in Calculus or Multivariable Calculus, or even differential equations. The additional offerings from our department in addition to classes would be a math team which competes against other schools in competitions for state and at regional level. Our department also offers an opportunity for students to be nominated to participate in a summer actuarial academy, and that is conducted by the University of DePaul here in Chicago, and it's a one-week opportunity to learn more about actuarial sciences. Our students will learn here in their math classes how to think, how to problem solve, how to use logic, and to make greater meaning of their world.
If the Kings can hold on for the win, they'll be one step closer to reaching the NBA Finals for the first time in over 50 years. All they need is a defensive stop without fouling. And for the Lakers, they need a clutch contested shot to avoid losing their second straight home game against their in-state rival. But there's so much more happening here besides a potential 3-1 series edge or 2-2 series tie. To fully appreciate the magnitude of what happens next for both teams' fan bases, we have to do our due diligence. We have to research as much as possible. In layman's terms, we need to rewind. Down by 2 and the clock ticking. The Lakers are in a precarious spot. They can either go for the win with a 3 or try to make a contested mid-range jumper and play for overtime. The Lakers used to own the Kings in the postseason. Shaquille O'Neal even compared the team to their female counterpart in the monarchy system.
We're not worried about the Sacramento Queens.
The Kings are now playing the Lakers for the third straight time in the postseason. After nearly pulling off an 8-seed versus 1 upset in 2000, Sacramento is trying to avenge last season's playoff sweep at the hands of the two-time defending champions. Going into the 2002 postseason, the Kings were 0-5 in all 5 of their road games at the Staples Center. But things are different this time around, as the Kings won Game 3 in LA just 2 days ago. And with summer less than a month away, the Kings are seconds away from taking a very important 3-1 edge. But the team with the Western Conference's best record shouldn't be in this spot. Let me explain.
Sacramento led by 20 points at the end of the first quarter,
and they increased its cushion to as many as 24 after a dunk by Hedo Turkoglu gave his team a 48-24 lead early in the second quarter. The Lakers then made it respectable by becoming lethal from downtown. 6 of their last 8 points were via the three-pointer, including a buzzer beater by Samaki Walker at the end of the first half. Still, the Lakers are nowhere near their usual dominance against the Kings. A 14-point halftime deficit is certainly better than 24, but with Mike Bibby scoring 15 of his 18 team-leading points away from the three-point line, the Lakers are basically getting destroyed off the dribble. Every single Lakers starter has a plus-minus worse than a -5. Devion George's 7 points off the bench are quite possibly keeping Los Angeles in the game, and for the Kings, they could practically smell a trip to the NBA Finals. All they have to do is hang on for the dub. A 65-51 lead at halftime doesn't guarantee victory, of course, but the Kings can smell blood after getting swept by the Lakers during last season's Western Conference semifinals. The Kings are one step closer to achieving something they haven't done since they used to play in Rochester, New York, reach the NBA championship round. During the infancy days of the National Basketball Association, the small-market Rochester Royals defeated the New York Knickerbockers 4-3. It was a big win for the NBA, as it proved to the fans even small markets could compete with the top media markets and glamour of New York City and Boston. However, even after the team moved to the Rochester War Memorial Arena in 1955, the Harrison brothers were forced to move the team to Cincinnati in 1957, and while the Cincy Royals got close to getting back to the NBA Finals in 1963, those pesky Boston Celtics eventually defeated them 4-3 during the Eastern Conference Finals. In those days, the EC Finals were known as the Division Finals, and the Royals returned to the Division Finals in 1964. This time around, Boston easily took care of Cincinnati in 5 games, despite Oscar Robertson scoring at least 30 points in 3 of those games. Robertson, Jerry Lucas, and the Royals returned to the playoffs 3 straight seasons from 1965 to 1967, only to meet their kryptonite in the Philadelphia 76ers and the aforementioned Celtics. And by the time 1972 came around, the Kings were forced to relocate between Kansas City and Omaha, Nebraska. Kansas City became the Kings' permanent home during the 1975-76 season, and they stayed there until the 1985 regular season concluded. The last time the Kings advanced to the NBA's version of the Final Four, they played their home games in Kansas City. The Houston Rockets took care of the KC Kings in 5 games that series in 1981, and even during their time in Kansas City, the Kings got swept by the Lakers during the playoffs. That time around, it took place in the 1984 postseason. So if NBA fans take their Kansas City days into account, the Kings are 0-3 in the playoffs against Los Angeles. And for Kansas City fans who still follow the team now that they're in the capital of California, it's personal. So if the Lakers think Peja Stojakovic, Chris Webber, and crew are going to ease up on the home team in the second half, they have another thing coming. Not only have the Lakers been a thorn in Sacramento's side, but they also had the Utah Jazz on the ropes during the 1999 NBA playoffs, only to lose by 1 in Game 4 and during overtime in Game 5. But the Lakers had more than just Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal to bail them out of trouble. Robert Horry, or Big Shot Bob as he's sometimes called, is no stranger to the pressure cooker. When Horry was in Houston, the Rockets won back-to-back NBA titles during the Michael Jordan brief retirement years. Incredibly, Horry was almost a Detroit Piston, but the Horry for Sean Elliott 1-for-1 deal was rescinded once Elliott failed a physical because of health problems. According to Horry, when Elliott failed his physical, it inevitably saved his career. Horry then rewarded his Rockets team. The Rockets, of course, defeated the Spurs and swept the Magic to win the NBA championship. Horry, Clyde Drexler, Hakeem Olajuwon, and the Rockets then rallied as a 16th in the Western Conference to win a second straight NBA title in 1995. However, after coming short of a three-peat in 1996, Houston's front office decided to move Horry, Sam Cassell, and a couple of other players to Phoenix in exchange for future Hall of Famer Charles Barkley. The Phoenix trade didn't work out that well for Horry, and after Horry had a notable on-court altercation with head coach Danny Ainge, Horry's towel throw at his head coach made his days in Phoenix numbered. The Lakers pounced at the chance of acquiring a 2-time NBA champion. It only cost them Cedric Cabellos in the 1997 deal. The Horry trade was done to give the team more of a veteran presence than a legitimate scoring threat, as Big Shot Bob averaged more than 11 points per game in just one of his Houston seasons. However, while not a big factor in the postseason the last 2 NBA Finals for the Lakers, Horry was still big against the 76ers during the 2001 Finals. 12 of his 15 total points came during the fourth quarter of Game 3. During Game 4, Horry knocked down 3 of the Lakers' 10 three-pointers en route to the win. Would Horry be needed down the stretch of this crucial Game 4? Quite possibly, since he basically stole away the starting power forward job from Samaki Walker, and by the time the third quarter ended, Horry was once again a thorn in the opponent's side. The last 3 points of the quarter came because of Horry, as the former Rocket and Sun drained 3 of his 4 shots from the free throw line. Just like that, the once proud 65-51 lead for the Kings is now just 80-73 entering the fourth quarter. But the Kings need more from Bibby if they're going to notch the victory. After scoring 18 in the first half, Sacramento's starting point guard has become a ghost. Bibby scored just 3 points in the second half, and the Kings now have to rely on Vlade Divac to get them critical buckets down the stretch. In a twist of fate, Divac used to play for the Lakers, but when Kobe Bryant was drafted by the Charlotte Hornets in 1996, Lakers general manager Jerry West fleeced the Hornets with the trade of the century by giving them Divac for the 18-year-old Hooper. While Divac is not a terrible player by any means, Bryant is one of the NBA's all-time greatest players. Divac wasn't happy about the trade, and he originally threatened to retire rather than move to North Carolina. However, the Serbian center relented on his retirement idea, and the trade became official on July 9, 1996. So not only are the Kings trying to avoid several postseason disappointing finishes at the hands of the Lakers, but Divac would like nothing better than to stick it to his former employer. And he's played great in the second half, finishing with 12 points. His 17-footer made it 98-93 Kings with just 117 remaining. Still, it would have been nice if Divac made both of his free throw attempts with under 12 seconds to go. As it currently stands, the Lakers need a two-pointer or two shots at the charity stripe to force overtime. In a crazier twist of fate, Shaq made both of his free throws to keep it a 1-point deficit. Of all the people to knock down free throws, Shaq would be at the bottom of the list for the Lakers fans who trust players at the charity stripe. The future NBA Hall of Famer once missed 11 free throws in a game against the Seattle Supersonics. But Shaq, of all people, made the Kings pay for fouling him, and because of his clutch free throws, a three-pointer can win the game. But there's no way the Lakers can win the game on a three, right? Well, anything's possible, and with Big Shot Bob in the game, never say never. In fact, Horry is the only Laker the team trusts with a potential game winner on the line. Derek Fisher is an atrocious 1 of 7 from behind the arc tonight. Kobe has only attempted 1-3, and head coach Phil Jackson has decided to not put Devion George back into the game since he's 0 for 3 from deep range. All right, here we go. The Lakers need a two-pointer to force overtime or a three-pointer to even up the series. The Kings just need a defensive stop. If they can force the Lakers to brick on this possession, Sacramento can put the series on ice with a win back in Northern California. Shaq once called their opponent the Sacramento Queens. And if the Kings are playing like a women's basketball team, they certainly look like a juggernaut from the WNBA. It's Kings 99, Lakers 97, with under 12 seconds to go. Welcome to a moment in history.
As the Lakers did it at Seattle.
Big Shot Bob to the rescue once again. What a way to end it. Make sure to comment below and subscribe to Sports Broadcast Solutions. Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call
or color commentary. You just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers.
Please rise. Let us begin in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we come before you with gratitude in our hearts this evening. We thank you for the gifts, the talents that you've instilled in these young men as they prepare to take this field. We ask that they play well, they acquit themselves with honor. We thank you for. We ask you always to continue to bless us. We make this prayer through Christ our Lord. Amen. St. Ignatius. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Fans, please remain standing and face the flag. Tonight, we have junior Harlequin actress. She performed as Alice in the Addams Family and most recently opened at the Chicago Auto Show to sing our national anthem, Junior C.C. Papa John.
That's pretty cool. Do you know her? What year are you? You look older.
By the dawn's early light,
Oh, that's the girl up there.
what so proudly we'd hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly gleaming, and the rocket's red glare they burst through the air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star
I'm sorry?
For setting the 2 minutes for the timeout, do I press the timeout optional?
We're going
I
to take a
wouldn't
quick
even
break.
do
You're watching
timeout.
St. Ignatius against
no, the only
Rufus King
timeout
here on
we do-
SBS.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics. And we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Back to the action here at beautiful Fornelli Field here in Chicago. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsaway. It's the Battle of Wisconsin against Illinois here at Fornelli Field as St. Ignatius will take on Rufus King in the Windy City. And Bob, this is a St. Ignatius team. They only lost 2 games last year, but one of those games was in the round of 16, and they'd like more than anything to run the table and get to the quarterfinals or more this season.
Well, they could. They've got some returning starters who are fabulous, a quarterback and running back. They were beaten by a pretty good Crate Monet team last year.
Crate Monet.
And boy, I got to tell you, though, the national anthem today, CC Papajohn, was fantastic. Boy, is she a good singer.
Rufus King and St. Ignatius here on SBS. If you missed any of the action, just hit that rewind button or fast forward to what you'd like. Text line's open tonight at 330-957-7653. And for the first time in Fornelli Field history, we've got a 4-person SBS crew tonight.
Well, I was watching them in warm-ups, too, and the quarterback was just absolutely fabulous, spot on. The button hooks, I think, could be a little bit quicker so that defense can't get in the way of those, but the passes downfield were spot on. So maybe not so much of a running tackle this year. Let the ball air it out. So they're going to be a 2-dimensional, at least, team this year, both running and passing is what I can see.
Pretty decent kick return that time by Emmett Callahan, who's listed as a linebacker. And he has a long commute, Bob, all the way from Hinsdale to play his football at St. Ignatius.
Well, and we've seen a few people transfer from other schools to here to play football. Yeah, obviously a good school to begin with, right? But when you go like from St. Rita to here, you're doing that for football.
1st and 10, and the ball on the 32-yard line. Actually, they're going to spot at the 37. This is a St. Ignatius team led by their quarterback, Jake Petro, the senior, 6'4", looking to improve from last year's great campaign.
Petro on the keeper.
Decent quarterback keeper, gets close to the 45-yard line, and it's like last season, continues on into this season, partner. Right up the middle with the triple option, hard to stop.
Well, I got a flag on the field. I think that's going to get called back. Somebody probably held. I didn't see the preliminary call, but they're setting a tone. Take the quarterback, run left. Now this year, he's bigger, he's stronger, probably smarter, certainly more mature, and a year's worth of experience under him. So we should expect a lot more from this year than we got from last year.
So clock runs with 11:47 to go.
Right, and the experience last year was absolutely terrific, where, like you said, they got to the very end there, and now here we go, a new year.
Petro with one in the backfield. Jumbo set, they run this a lot.
Well, and then they sweep one way or other with it a lot, or go up the middle with Rugai.
Got to be careful that partner. Petro almost fumbled the snap.
A gain of 9.
Yeah, you were talking earlier in the interviews. I like that. So this team, Rufus King, is from Wisconsin. St. Ignatius, of course, from Chicago. So are there any Wisconsin teams that should beat any Chicago area teams?
The question is, not should they beat them, but it's a surprise when Illinois teams beat the Wisconsin team.
Isn't it awful that that's the way it goes these days?
Although in 2007, the Cubs overcame the Brewers after the Brewers were up by a lot of games in the division race.
Uh-oh. Isn't this a no baseball zone tonight?
It's all football, American football tonight. Near the 40-yard line, Petro takes the snap. He's got a clean pocket, looks downfield. Wide open man, right down the middle. At the 20, at the 10, Touchdown, St. Ignatius. Tommy Bloss on the reception at Petro. His first completion, partner, is a long touchdown pass.
Just like they were warming up, his passes downfield are spot on, hitting the receivers in stride. Nobody, which I thought was impressive, on the receiver corps dropped any of those long passes. Now, they did drop a couple of the shorter mid-range passes. Why? Because he's got an arm on him, a cannon. It went right through their hands. But there was a perfectly executed play that we saw a ton in warm-up.
Well, Rufus King came into this game not giving up a single point, and less than 2 minutes in the game, they've already given up 6.
Well, now you're starting to think, is it going to be 49 to something?
Henry Holmes with a beautiful kick up through the uprights.
And over the tent.
It's 7-0 St. Ignatius. We'll take a 12-second break here on SBS.
This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Back to the action. We apologize if the mic was muted, but we will upload that in 1080p. 7-0 in favor of St. Ignatius here on SBS.
By a 67-yard touchdown pass, Petro.
But what a way to start. The first possession, about 3 plays later, a long bomb for a touchdown right up the middle, which looks like they can keep doing that. I don't know how Rufus King is going to stop that as the game goes on. They've got a multi-faceted attack here. Up the middle, passes, sidelines, running up the gut, sweeps.
Long kickoff, and they're going to let it go into the other end zone.
Yeah, and a kicker.
Kick goes into the end zone.
Well, we'll see how Rufus King adjusts. They had not given up a point all season long, but we talked about it with Stevenson Jeffries in the pregame show. They weren't really tested those first 2 games, and I don't know what else to say, but you are tested on a 70-yard bomb on a touchdown pass.
Well, and they're going to be tested with the St. Ignatius stingy defense as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see Rufus punt after 3 plays here.
10:43 remaining in the first quarter. 1st and 10 at the 20 for Rufus King. They still have the same colors as Crete Money.
So yellow and blue. Yeah, it kind of brings back memories, doesn't it?
St. Ignatius, that's a game they'd like to forget. Right now they lead 7-0. Right up the gut, St. Ignatius with a big stop.
A big push right up the middle. Stuffed that run before it started.
Stop by number 1.
So they do the fake handoff quarterback sneak, and the Wolfpack were not fooled.
Yeah, right. Couple of, 5 yards lost on that. So now they got 2nd and 15. Remember when I said I wouldn't be surprised to see a 3 and out? This could be a long game for Rufus King.
For the Generals from their own 18-yard line.
So 2nd and 12 at the 18 with the clock ticking.
How dare that clock tick?
Rufus King. They got a couple of quarterbacks on the roster, Thomas Vandenberg and P.J. Meese. Clean pocket, the southpaw throw, screen pass.
That's going nowhere.
St. Ignatius read it well. No gain on the play.
It was a slow developing screen, wide receiver screen with a left-handed passer.
Yeah, Bob, it's one of those plays where you just got to get that ball out quick. You want to get the clean snap and the clean throw, but sometimes you just got to snap it and throw it and get it out quick.
Just reminds me of an offense with head coach of Nagy on it.
Well, Nagy didn't snap the ball and throw the ball. That's on the quarterback and the center.
Touche. Good point. All right, here we go, though. 3rd down and a mile.
You know, quarterback play, you're not always going to have that clean snap, that clean spiral. Play like that, you just got to get it out quick, and we'll see how Rufus King adjusts with 3rd and 15.
Yeah, I'm looking for a flag. I don't see one. I'm trying to figure out which way the wind is blowing here. Traditionally blows from right to left, so against the wind is Rufus King. So they got to go 15 yards for first. I think they'll dump it off short and punt.
Rolls out to the left. Nobody open. He's going to run it himself, and he's brought down that time by Tony Torado from Northridge Prep.
Well, and this punt is going to come from very deep in Rufus King's own end zone. So St. Ignatius is going to end up with the ball somewhere at midfield with a very potent offense. This spells trouble for Rufus King.
Yeah, this is not the start that Rufus King wanted. They wanted to get Nate White out in space, and they weren't able to do that on that first drive. They want screen passes. They want a little fly route to him, get him out in space. Didn't work out that on that drive.
Well, you could say that again. And St. Ignatius is swarming at the football as well.
All you got to do is catch the ball. Don't need much on a return. Line drive kick.
Don't need much of a return at all, for sure.
And it's going to be returned by Bloss, and he's brought down almost immediately after getting the ball.
Well, he slipped on the cut about the 37-yard line. So the first drive started out at their own 37-yard line. Now this drive, St. Ignatius starting out at the other 37-yard line.
St. Ignatius up 7-0. If you're just joining us, a beautiful touchdown pass from Petro to Bloss. That's something he's worked on in the offseason. He runs that triple option great. He's got great speed. Just the arm strength and the accuracy was a little bit of trouble last year. Didn't look like it on that first drive by Petro.
You can tell in the warm-ups this guy is good.
He's definitely got the size. Does he have the accuracy at the next level? We'll find out in 9 games. So far, so good. One in the backfield. And they run it up the gut to Rugai just like he did last season. 5 yards and even more on the yards after contact.
Right, and I think they'll do that a lot, mix in with some sweeps. Then you add now just a lethal play-action pass. I mean, every team is going to be in trouble this year against St. Ignatius. It's a pleasure to watch them play, though, and seeing how talented they are, especially with the returning seniors.
Yeah, it's hard to run the triple option, but when you have a guy that can also throw the ball, reminds me of those Georgia Tech days with Justin Thomas at quarterback. I'm not saying Jake Petro is going to go to Georgia Tech, but I'm saying if you can throw the ball, it just makes that triple option even tougher to stop.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're not comparing him to Lamar Jackson yet.
Fakes the handoff. Petro right up the gut. So hard to bring down. Gets the first down and more. As the quarterback for St. Ignatius leading the triple option well.
So Jake Petro, 6'4", 193 pounds. He's a lot to handle, to tackle.
He's taller than me and thinner than me.
Oh, man, we can get into that, right? When I was 6'2" and 190 pounds, all the football players were bigger than me, right? Now I'm still the same 6'2" and 230 pounds. Now most of the football players, even in the NFL, are smaller than me.
230 pounds before you went to Portillo's last night. Petro again, one in the backfield. As they hand it off to Rugai, he gets a couple. Good tackle from behind the line of scrimmage that time by...
Yeah, that's more than a couple. He got 6 yards, so they're on first down getting a lot of good yardage, making the second and third downs way easy to get. Now, if I'm St. Ignatius, I keep it on the ground. Maybe Rugai up the middle, a sweep one way or left, keeper, but just keep it on the ground. Even though Petro has a terrific arm and a great receiving corp, just jam it down the throat here at Rufus King and tell him we're the boss.
They like to run Albert Connor in motion. Right now, he's listed at tight end on the line of scrimmage. He plays a lot of positions at St. Ignatius. Good penetration that time by Rufus King. And on the tackle was Vincent Lamarcus Vincent.
Yeah, it's deceiving, though. He looked like he got tackled right at the line, but he really didn't. He got tackled a couple yards past. So 2-yard gain, now third and about 2.
Lamarcus Vincent, he's a great kid. He's always going to be around the ball. He's got good speed, good football instincts. So for St. Ignatius, partner, do you want to try to run the ball away from Lamarcus Vincent?
In my case, he looks like a sweep left or right up the gut yet again would be what I would do.
Regardless of where Vincent is?
I don't care where he's at. I think the offensive line can take care of that.
Another running play for St. Ignatius.
I don't think they made it, though.
Definitely 4-down territory,
right.
But if you do kick the field goal, you're up 2 scores, but I think you want to make it hurt right now with a touchdown.
Yeah, but it's a first down at like the 4-inch line.
They did get the first down. I thought you said they didn't get it.
Well, that's what I mean. It's deceiving at this end. They get a couple yards before they get contacted. So the offensive line at St. Ignatius is just overruling this game.
First and goal at the 4.
Right.
I would go A-gap again with Petro.
Yeah, you just keep putting it straight ahead. Oh, they're going to go right.
Petro goes into contact. Did he get in? He did.
Yep.
Touchdown, Petro and the Wolfpack. It's 13-0.
What I really like, though, nice safe plays. They kept it on the ground once they got close. Got a couple yards every time. Rufus King had struggles tackling, at least stopping anybody for any kind of negative gains. It's a terrific offense here.
Number 2, Henry Helms back on.
If I'm Rufus King, I wouldn't panic. You knew that you weren't going to go the entire year with shutting people out. You knew it was going to be a tough battle. You knew what St. Ignatius did last year. Don't panic. Stick with your offense. But you got to think about it a little bit. You're now down 13-0 instead of it being 0-0.
Yeah, it's too early silly to think this way, but what we're looking at is a 49-0 win here. So I don't know that Rufus King should be worrying about winning the game at this point, but make it look respectable, learn something from it.
You're not giving Rufus King any respect.
Well, I'm giving St. Ignatius all the respect in the world that they do deserve. Plus, they're from, Rufus King, after all, they are from Wisconsin.
Well, the Houston Oilers were up 35-3 on the Buffalo Bills, and how did that work out for the Oilers?
Yeah, I remember all those games that Warren Moon came back for Houston when you bring up them.
Warren Moon was good at getting them the leads, but his defense couldn't hold the lead for him.
Yeah, that's well put. Well, St. Ignatius has a terrific defense, so I wouldn't be at all surprised to see a kickoff. 3 plays later, Rufus King is punting again. So, yeah, I have a lot of respect for the St. Ignatius defense, not just the offense. St. Ignatius looks like they're going after the state with a vengeance this year. Of course, it's early.
Text line open tonight, your favorites. High school, college, or NFL memory. Text 330-957-7653.
I wonder what kind of text and who you're going to get from this week.
We'll see. First game of the year with the text line. Helms on the kick, and you're going to fake it.
I've never seen that before. How many football games have I watched in my life and never seen that before?
And this time they kick it for real. It's deep, but it will get to the end zone. Oh, it takes a friendly hop, and it's picked up at the 2. Breaks off a tackle and then brought down inside the 10. Partner, you got to make up your mind right away. Either you're going to catch it or you're going to know it's going to go to the end zone. You can't let it drop like that at the 1.
Well, yeah, but I think you'll watch the video on that, and the ball died at like the 2-foot line, 2-yard line. He had to pick it up. He had no choice.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't have kicked it better and put it there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to make up your mind, though. You got to know if the ball's going to land in the end zone or you got to catch it on a fly and try to run it up.
Well,
now they're inside their own 10.
Yeah, he did make up his mind. The ball wasn't going in the end zone. You better pick it up. Didn't pick it up cleanly, had struggled. So now Rufus King, it's when it rains, it pours. You got the ball at your own 10-yard line, 90 yards to go, down by 2 scores, and you've proven you can't move the ball anything forward yet.
I just meant like if you're in that spot, try to catch it on a fly. You can't let it drop like that.
It almost felt like a squib kick, not catchable. It was just like I said, you couldn't have placed that kick better. What a great kick.
But still, you got to catch that ball. Unless you absolutely know it's going in the end zone, got to catch that ball on a fly. Rufus King inside their own 10, ball at the 8, 1st and 10 with 5:05 to go.
Wow, time flying.
Well, that's St. Ignatius for you. They don't pass it a lot.
Now, see, there's a difference here. Rufus King ran up the middle, right? For what, no gain? St. Ignatius, again, controlling the line, was able to penetrate and stop him for a loss. When St. Ignatius runs up the middle, they're not touched until 2 yards into the backfield, or maybe not the backfield, but across the line of scrimmage. So St. Ignatius is controlling the line of scrimmage on both the offensive side and the defensive side. So Rufus King has to think about, how do I get the ball downfield, let alone a score?
Yeah, they're having real kinds of problems with their offensive line right now. Not able to help out their quarterback at all in terms of pass protection. P.J. Meese, the starter tonight, the lefty. And it might be pass every play right now because they're not getting any penetration up front.
Well, pass every play could spell even worse disaster for Rufus King. I mean, you've got a ball-hawking defense at St. Ignatius. They try to go downfield against the wind. They'll get picked off.
21, Jack Burns on the stop.
Well, forget about scoring points. You're right, Bob. Get a first down, and now you got 3rd and long, and you can't throw it into a tight window because it could be a pick 6.
Right, yeah, and their punter didn't look like he was going to kick it all, too far downfield either. So what do you do? Well, what did they do? They tried to go wide last 3rd down, 3rd and wide, 3rd and long, I mean. So I'm going to predict that again. They're probably going to try to go wide, maybe a wide receiver screen, but it won't be a downfield pass. But I don't think it'll be a first down either. The question is, will it even be completed?
3rd and long for Rufus King. Lefty throw, and I think it hit the turf.
Pass is incomplete.
It did hit the turf, 4th and long, and no choice but to punt. But do you feel confident in your punting game to get a clean snap and a clean kickoff?
Well, they did get a clean punt last time, right? It just didn't go very far. So maybe they got to pick a different soccer player next time for their punter.
It's tough to kick that football. It's not as easy as, we'll just pick a soccer player off the scrap heap and have him punt for us.
That's for sure.
Different action, different spin on the ball.
Right, I believe it is against the wind. So the kick returner is at the 40-yard line.
Punt. Number 6, Tommy Blas, back deep for the Wolfpack.
Tommy Blas, who got the touchdown reception, is back to get another punt.
Got it off, line drive kick, and it's going to hop inside the 40.
Oh, that's done, no return.
And Blas will call out poison, and it will land at the 42, a friendly Rufus King hop. Stevenson Jeffries is able to touch
he
it.
couldn't really catch that either. It was kind of a low-line drive. All he could do there is just prevent a long bounce, and he got behind it, so if a long bounce happened, he would have picked it up. If not, well, you're at the 41-yard line instead of the 37-yard line. All's good for St. Ignatius. Now the question is, how many runs will it take for them before they go back to that play-action deep play? I mean, if I'm St. Ignatius, I'm going for the jugular. You know, one run, some direction, pick up the middle, right, left, doesn't matter. Next play, go deep.
If you're Petro, do you just keep running the ball? I mean, you can pass it, but they can't stop the run either.
They haven't proven they can stop anything, and if that's the case, keep it on the ground. But here he goes, no even play action, but he is going deep. First down.
Petro, a wide open man.
And in
dropped.
and out of his hands.
Butterfingers.
Now, if this were warm-ups, he would have caught it.
It's a lot easier to play football in shorts and a T-shirt than pads and pants.
Yeah, you got a point. They were catching it without the pads in the warm-ups, weren't they? Maybe it bounced off a pad.
You know, everybody's going to have the drops.
But you know what?
Marshall struggled for that with a lot, too.
Yeah. Well, in some ways, though, it's okay they dropped it. You get to keep the ball instead of it's a touchdown. You got to punt it away to, let them have the ball. So you get a chance to run a 2nd and 10 play.
But I think that Coach Miller and St. Ignatius loves what they're seeing out of Petro. Just night and day different from last year when he was a junior at the quarterback position.
Well, he was good last year, too, but they did a lot more running last year than this year.
Kemp on the carry.
And again, up the middle, 7 yards?
Gain of 3.
Oh, 3. Well, bad view there.
16.
They'll say
Marcus Vincent on the stop.
Now, 3rd and 7, you would say normally it's a passing situation. Last year it was kind of a running situation where they try to run wide. I think they'll try to pass. But at least this time, Rufus King doesn't have to be quite so worried about a run. They can stop that. So right now, we're going to expect a pass, but maybe not a downfield pass. Maybe just a short pass over the middle.
Yeah, see if they do a little button hook action. Did they get him to move?
Yeah, they did.
There's a flag on the play.
It looked like offsides, but let's see if there's procedure. Yep.
Encroachment.
Offsides.
Backs him up 5. It'll be 3rd and 3.
So 3rd and 2.5 is way better than 3rd and 7. No longer do they have to pass for that first down.
You could run a screen if you want, but I doubt they'll do that.
Yeah, I think they'll go Rugai up the middle. Here, you got to figure 4-down territory. They can't stop him. That's what I would do. But what also worked is fake to Rugai and then the quarterback dive.
You could also do a pitch play if you want. You only need 2 yards, but a lot of different options you have at your disposal. Run up the gut. Close. Did he get it? Right now the inclination is it's short, and it is indeed short. 4th and short coming up
they'll
for
go
St.
for
Ignatius.
this.
Oh, for sure.
But it wasn't Rugai with the ball.
It'll be 4th and a foot.
Well, if it's 4-down territory and you know that going in, you don't have to show that Rugai look on 3rd and 2 if you don't want to.
4th and 1. It's kind of a big play. Now I get it. It's a 14-0 lead, right? It's kind of a big play, though, to keep possession.
Yeah, it's a tough drop by Clement Carey, but another run off the right guard. 1st down and more as they give it to John Kemp.
Boy, from what I remember last year, though, St. Ignatius was very patient running up the gut. They would get 2 yards in a cloud of those little rubber pellets, another 2 yard, another cloud of those little rubber pellets, and all of a sudden they would just break one for 60 yards. That's what that play almost looked like. It looked like a shoestring tackle, nothing but green in front of them, but got tackled at the last second. But a great gain, 1st down.
You know, a fullback dive, I wish that it was used more at the NFL level. It's so different from a regular halfback look that sometimes you can see that a fullback getting 10-plus yards on a dive play like that.
Plus it puts the blockers in a different spot now than teams are used to.
As they run Albert in motion again. There's
a fumble.
And I don't think he was down, Bob.
No, it's going to be a turnover. The ball was on the ground, nobody on it, and then Rufus King saw it and got to it.
Yeah,
it looked like a misdirection on the handoff, and it just went off the side of a hand or a body.
I was going to say, it looked like Malik Robinson wasn't touched.
Right.
So he could have taken that to the house for a touchdown, but it was a late call that he was touched just as he was coming back off the ground.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, he landed on the ball on the ground, so he's down then.
Well, did somebody touch him?
Doesn't matter, not in high school.
You're right. The NFL rules, you can dive for it and come back up. I forget about it. It's a newer rule that you once you dive on the ball, you're automatically down.
You're down. Yeah.
We saw that last year where there was a fumble, but because he picked it up while he was down, the offensive team kept the possession of the ball.
Right. I do think, though, the ball was just sitting there, and there was nobody between him and the touchdown. I mean, maybe if he takes a little bit more care and tries to pick it up and run, he could go somewhere. But what is he? He's a lineman, right? Probably not going to go far very fast. And you don't want him to, kick it, boot it, and then St. Ignatius keeps control.
You're down 14-0. Your defense hasn't really done much all game. You got to be able to just get that ball and give it to your offense.
Well, and sometimes it's hard to go against coaching you've had since, kindergarten. It says that when the football's on the ground, you jump on it. You don't pick it up going for touchdowns. You just fall on that ball. Possession is worth more than anything. And if you try to pick it up, scoop it up, you can mishandle it.
We'll take another 12-second break. You're watching St. Ignatius here on SBS.
Beach on the tackle.
As it's 1st and 10 for Rufus King.
So the one play we put back on mute, and Rufus King gets a first down. So they have come alive after that turnover. It could have been like 21-0 on that drive if there was no fumble, right? But then here, Rufus King coming back. So maybe 49-0 is not going to be a final score. Of course, on the data point of 1 first down.
Ball at the 45. Hey, it's just about the score, right? If you get it to 14-7, you get another turnover. Anything can happen.
That's the thing in these games. You have to look at the number of scores, not the score. They're down by 2 scores. But against a really stingy St. Ignatius front line.
They only gave up 15 points in that loss in the playoffs to Crete Moni last year. They only scored 3. So if the offense is good enough for St. Ignatius, that defense has proven they can get it done deep into the playoffs.
I'm going to relish that rematch this year. I hope it happens. St. Ignatius will be a little stronger. A senior Rugai, a senior quarterback. I don't know. Crete Moni, good luck.
Justin Scott at D-line, a 5-star recruit.
Yeah, my favorite, of course, is the long snapper. What's his name? Rhodes? Right, so he's #1 long snapper in the country. How do you get to be the #1 long snapper with what? How many thousands of high schools must there be, and you're the #1 long snapper?
Well, there's got to be one, right? There's always a #1 quarterback, a #1 running back.
Yeah, I was talking to, we'll get to that in a sec.
Runs out to the left.
Can't get away.
Too much speed by St. Ignatius.
Right. But the long snapper, so I guess they had a challenge in Las Vegas, and a bunch of long snappers from across the country and go and play in an NCAA 32 team-like playoff. So one snapper against another. They get down to the final champion, and the final champion was Rhodes here from St. Ignatius.
It'll be 4th down and 15 from the Generals. From their own 40-yard line when we begin the second quarter.
Second quarter about to start. We're going to take a break. St. Ignatius 14, Rufus King 0 here on SBS.
It's my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. 'Cause we've done this before, so you come on in.
This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Back to the action at Fornelli Field. It's 14-0 in favor of the Wolfpack as St. Ignatius has a rushing touchdown, a passing touchdown. Could have had 2 passing touchdowns, but just out of the reach of Clement Carey to make it 21-0.
Well, and of course, I always do this simple math. I do this in every sport, basketball, etc. So 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. Clearly, it's going to be a 56-0 game.
Remember, you get that running clock in the fourth quarter when it's over 40 points.
Right. Right. Well, so might go with my original prediction, 49-0. Anyway, Rufus King with the ball right in front of us, going now from right to left.
Ball at the 40. They were at the 42. Now it's 2nd and 12 at the 40. And some confusion on defense by St. Ignatius. Run up the gut, lost yardage.
Yeah, maybe the confusion caused confusion for the offensive line. They didn't know who to block, and so they didn't block anybody, and St. Ignatius came across untouched.
Justin Scott changing numbers this year. He was in the 90s last year. Now he's wearing 77.
He got a promotion. So next year when he goes to college, maybe he'll be a 50-something for some college
he's
linebacker.
playing linebacker, so.
That's right. Of course, now in the pros, you can be number 9 and be a linebacker.
Who's number 9 as a linebacker?
Well, you can use those low numbers.
You can? I've never seen a number 9 linebacker in the NFL.
Oh, you haven't yet? Well, I don't know one yet, so we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see one. What's Jackson's number on the Bears? Now, he's not a linebacker.
Yeah, he's a safety. He's in the 30s.
Is he? Not number 9?
Another punt
Here's
coming up for Rufus King.
And
blocked. Ball live. St. Ignatius going after it on the sideline. Picked up. Helms can't get the scoop and score, but he's inside the 20. And the sky is starting to fall right now for Rufus King.
Now, a flag is going from the midfield all the way to the line. I don't know why yet.
Probably taunting.
Well, I also saw a block in the back on picking up the football, but I don't know. That flag didn't land where the block in the back was, so we'll see what that call is going to be about. In the end, no matter what, though, St. Ignatius has the ball somewhere in Rufus King's territory. We just don't know what yard line yet, depending on the penalty. And they're not signaling anything in yet. Here's the call, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Wolfpack.
I wonder what was so unsportsmanlike in that. He picked up the ball and ran for it. What's the problem?
But you can't point at the other team in high school. That's taunting every time.
So now they're starting at the 33-yard line instead. I'm going to say that was a little bit of an overzealous penalty.
Well, a rule's a rule. Can't do it, but it does help Rufus King. However, how slight of a helping
well,
it
actually,
is.
probably doesn't, because now St. Ignatius is going to take longer to score, so Rufus King is going to have to play the game longer, for shorter game, down by more.
Good stop that time by Rufus King, but man, even when they get a stop, St. Ignatius still gets 1 or 2 yards after contact.
So true, but yet that was probably Rufus King's best penetration on defense, though. They got him at the line of scrimmage, and then, of course, he fell forward for 2 yards. Well, maybe even 3 yards.
Rugai is a former Northside Titan, and maybe one of these days he'll be playing for the Tennessee Titans.
Well, you just never know. Watching Garoppolo, would you ever thought he's going to be a pro quarterback?
Still in the pros. He's now Trey Lance's backup.
Right, and I feel that way too with, like Max Christie is in the pros in the NBA, Jeff Brunson in the pros NBA.
Run up to Rugai. They're starting to slow him down a little bit, but not by much.
Yeah, 1 yard from a first down. Tanyan, another example. He was a Northwest player, Crystal Lake area, right? And all of a sudden he's on Green Bay having himself a year.
Yeah, Blaga went to Marion Central Catholic.
Right. And I'm thinking Scotty Miller, Barrington. I'm in Barrington, so we keep our eyes on Scotty Miller, and he's on the the Bucks. So I mean, the sky's the limit for Rugai. How much better do you got to be?
I don't know if he'll be a tailback at the next level like college, but...
That's the trouble. When you go to the next level and then the next level after that, how many positions do you have to change? And then when you do change, are you the right position or the right
Third
profile?
and short coming up for St. Ignatius to Rugai again.
He just sidestepped to tackle and just keeps going.
It's their bread and butter, and we're seeing why tonight. They just are so successful with it.
Jaden Johnson on the stop.
If you're Rufus King, I think you just got to blitz every play and hope for the best. And see if Petro can beat you.
Yeah, he sure can. He's already proven that. But to your point, penetrate. Shoot every gap forward. At least stop the run game if you can, right? And then sometimes those run blitzes do stop passes. But if you don't get the quarterback and with their downfield passing game and Petro's accuracy, I mean, look out.
And stack the box with 8 and just hope they don't do play action pass. You don't see that a lot in a triple option with the play action, but. They're going to run to Rugai again.
He's just unstoppable.
And he fumbled.
Again.
Ball loose. Who picked it up?
Rufus King picked it up. This time picked it up. But that's 2 fumbles. Now that's St. Ignatius isn't going to like. It's just going to keep the score lower at the end of the day.
This game isn't over yet, though, partner. I mean, Rufus King has had a couple of plays on offense. They just can't consistently do it on a drive.
Well put. They made that one first down when our microphones was on mute. And other than that, they've been pretty idle on offense. But they get the ball at their own, 19-yard line? At least they have the ball, not down 21 or 28 points. They could easily be down 3 or 4 scores here. So they have to feel very lucky and very, very fortunate to be in this game. They're only down 2 scores. They have the ball.
Just got to get away. Just got to find a way to get 6 and get another stop. And then you're back in the game and you can possibly get the win.
Well, and they have to figure out what play works, what set of plays.
Shotgun formation, almost offside as St. Ignatius
Oh, they're
blown
going to call him for that.
by the sideline judge. Encroachment against St. Ignatius.
You know, we don't really have a line of scrimmage view, but you can't do that if you don't cross the line. It didn't look like he crossed the line to me.
It looks like it was a delayed call, too, where the quarterback could have just played advantage and tried to throw it downfield.
Yeah, maybe the referee was thinking about it, or maybe it's simply took a long time to get the flag out of his pocket.
So 1st and 5 coming up for Rufus King. Shotgun formation, one in the backfield. And they'll run it up the gut. Not going to get much.
Yeah, another terrific penetration on defense from St. Ignatius again, as usual. It's just stuff the run in its tracks. So we got 2nd and 5. So Rufus King is finding out what they can't do.
Carried by number 3.
Can't run up the middle.
If I were Rufus King here, partner, I would think about a play-action pass, but do you trust in your pass protection to get enough time to throw that ball?
Well, you're not going to win the game by running the whole game, I don't think. So they're going to have to figure out how to pass somewhere along the way, and they are with the wind as far as I can tell.
Another run.
Yeah, another slow developing run. They ran right very slowly, gave St. Ignatius all the time in the world to go after it. I think I figured out what play Rufus King needs to run here on 3rd down. Same play, but then reverse it the other way and see if they can't get St. Ignatius over committing. So reverse one way or other. I like it going to the left here because there's more room on the left side of the field than on the right. So that's the play call I would make.
Not a bad play call on 3rd and medium with a reverse.
Right.
Do you have enough confidence in your run block to get enough time to develop that play?
Well, and it's also confidence in St. Ignatius' ability to continue to pursue. Maybe they'll over-pursue one. I'll see what they do.
3rd and 4 at the 23. Slow developing play and not going anywhere. Might have fumbled the snap.
I was thinking that's a pretty slow developing play. I think it's more like that. They probably fumbled the snap. I couldn't tell. But the hike happened and went nowhere. 4th down, now they're punting.
You could consider a fake punt here, but I don't know.
Cranfield on the punt.
A little early in the game to consider that, but
Number 6.
you got to find a way to keep possessions. You got to minimize St. Ignatius' possessions to win this game.
Right, well, and they did take 2 possessions away, so 2 of the 4 possessions they got back without a punt even. And another blocked punt, caught.
And St. Ignatius gets 2 blocked punts in the game thus far. Jacob Lawler picked it up, and partner, that's on the punter. You got to punt that quicker than that.
Oh, I'm not there. I'm thinking the line has to stop St. Ignatius' penetration. St. Ignatius' offensive line's doing terrific. The defensive line's doing terrific. Then twice now on punts, the defensive line has beat the Rufus King offensive blockers, even though they're punting. So, oh my gosh, this is absolutely on the line of Rufus King. And the question is, can they correct that ship before the game is over? I mean, that's big. If you lose the battle in the trenches, you will not win the game. In fact, you won't even come close, as evidenced by 2 blocked punts. So St. Ignatius with the ball at, 23-yard line?
23, 1st and 10. Petro, of course, taking the snap. One in the backfield, jumbo set. Petro hands it off eventually, and Kemp gets to the 20.
Gain of 2.
That's like one of the shortest gains St. Ignatius has had all game.
Field goal would make it a 3-possession lead, but I think they're thinking 7 here.
Yeah. Remember we talked about that last year, video football? We don't kick on 4th down. Yeah, we don't kick on 4th down.
2nd and 7.
They don't have Bestry this year either. Bestry was one of their better kickers at St. Ignatius history.
I'm thinking they're going to have to do the play action, quickly here. 2nd and 8, why not here? Good spot, 20-yard line. Safe. Nope, right up the middle instead. A touchdown.
Petro fakes the handoff. Touchdown, quarterback Petro.
The ball handling was terrific. A fake handoff right up the middle. The defensive line went for the fake. Petro, the big guy that he is, ran right through the giant hole that was left. Easy run. You want to say in this game, why pass? They don't need to. But I think you need to because you need to practice your passing game for when you play somebody else later in the year. Here's the kicking game now we're talking about.
Helms on the kick.
Should be a chip shot extra point for Helms.
Chip shot.
He put that
into the next zip code.
Kicked it right into the trees, and it's 21-0 St. Ignatius. We'll take a 30-second break. You're watching St. Ignatius against Rufus King here on SBS.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
21-0 St. Ignatius, 6:16 remaining in the game, in the half. It feels like the game because if Rufus King goes down 28-0, I don't see them coming back.
Well, I have to say, I'm the one that likes to play to the end of the whistle, but I don't see Rufus King winning this game. St. Ignatius is too strong. I think the only thing we got to worry about now is what's the final score, and from St. Ignatius' perspective is what do we need to do to gain something out of this game so that we're stronger next week or the next month or against Crete Moni.
Text line open, your favorite high school, college, or NFL memory, 330-957-7653. What a hit!
Yeah.
Big time hit near the 30-yard line by the Wolfpack.
Yeah, who might have questioned the coaching staff on that? But that was kind of a squib kick caught by the 30-yard line. Last time they kicked off, the ball was recovered at the 2. Why not do that kick again? They've proven that they can't really run the ball against your just swarming defense. So if you kick off deep, maybe the ball comes back to the 10 or the 20. Instead, it's at the 30.
Shout-outs as well, 330-957-7653. All FCC regulations do apply. 69 yards to the other end zone for Rufus King, but really on this drive, you just want to get a couple of first downs, get a rhythm going for your offense.
Yeah, and you got 6 minutes, 12 seconds before half. Maybe you can get a score and at least cut the lead down. But right now, Rufus King is proving they can't go anywhere with any play.
LeGrand on the carry.
Which is a credit to St. Ignatius defense. They're just stuffing them. They're manhandling the line.
Gain of a half yard.
This is a Rufus King team. They scored over 30 points in their first 2 games. Granted, they even admitted to us that they were playing below their competition level.
32.
They're playing at or above their competition level tonight. They're losing 21-0.
Well, and that's the thing, too. Sometimes you get beat by a good team and you think you played badly. But, the reality is maybe they're playing very well for Rufus King. We just don't know because it's the first time we've seen them.
Yeah, St. Ignatius is not playing perfectly by any stretch of the imagination. 2 fumbles tonight. There you go. Better blocking on the offensive line, and it created some space for your running back, albeit limited space, but better than what we saw in the first quarter.
Yeah, the half-yard gain is better than what they've been normally averaging, right?
-2, -3.
Right.
Rugai on the tackle.
Rugai on the tackle, two-way player. Maybe that's what'll happen to Rugai in college. He'll end up a safety or maybe a cornerback, maybe, more likely a safety, linebacker or something, more than a running back. Just a guess. I don't know. Do we know where he's going to college yet? I haven't asked.
Maybe we'll ask him in the postgame show.
If he's the one we talked to, that would be the perfect question to ask. Where are you going and what position do you anticipate playing?
It's looking like Petro at this point.
There's a lined up offsides there. There you go. Fix that.
Yeah, that's something St. Ignatius is going to have to fix going forward. Rufus King with it. Fumble! Ball on the turf. Tried to scoop it up. Who has it? St. Ignatius had 4 players around it.
Yeah, but that's not the one to scoop up. It's in the middle of the field, and you should have just landed on it. Even if you scoop it, you can't return it. But whatever, they got the ball. So a turnover-laden game here. 35-yard line, 1st and 10, St. Ignatius.
Well, this is a Wolfpack team. They lost last week to St. Patrick, but that's more of a St. Patrick team that's on the rise. They went to the quarterfinals last year. Still, St. Ignatius was ranked. St. Patrick was unranked. It was an upset. But we've definitely seen different styles of play from St. Ignatius tonight than we saw last Friday against St. Patrick.
Yeah, we might be finding out why St. Ignatius is playing with a fire here today.
Fire up their butts.
Yeah, they're the burning bridge, whatever you want to call it. They don't want another repeat of last week.
Petro taking the handoff. He's got a clean pocket, rolls over to his left, looking downfield. He's got a man. Nice throw. Touchdown, Wolfpack. It's caught by Aaron Stewart. 27-0 SICP.
He was well covered and everything, but it was misjudged by the defensive back. The wide receiver being about 4, 5, 6 inches taller. Easy catch. It was not deflected by the defender. Probably should have been. Made it look easy. They're celebrating right here in front of us.
Whatever they're feeding Petro, they need to keep feeding it because this is not the same guy we saw last season.
Well, I think he went into the weight room with a vengeance, right? I mean, his passes, like I said, in warm-ups are spot on. Downfield passes are spot on. You know who he reminds me of is the St. Patrick quarterback last year. What was his name?
Young?
Yeah, right. And then now that Young graduated, St. Patrick still won. That didn't sit well with St. Ignatius. We can see that.
Yeah, I think both teams have a chance to make some noise in the playoffs.
And they're not the same division, right?
Right, they're not the same division.
Right, they probably both can go somewhere. But St. Patrick was kind of special last year with Young. I don't know who the new quarterback is this year, but this Petro is good. I want to see that rematch with Crete Moni.
There's a lot of people down south in Moni, Illinois, that are mad at you about that.
Well, they don't know how to speak French, right?
28-0 St. Ignatius. We will stick with the action here. Shout out to Mary Boyle, number 1 Ignatius football fan.
Wow, that was really nice. That went easy.
Right hand back piece for the general.
You know, I've been to a lot of high school football stadiums, Bob. There's nothing like Fornelli Field. And I've been to a lot of fun ones. I can't compare it to any others. It's a different atmosphere here at Fornelli.
Yeah, this is really a terrific atmosphere. And what I like is where we are. We've got the little house at the 50-yard line. We're at, 30-yard line. We're on the patio out front. We're not 500 yards away from the field. Like here, the celebration was right below us. We could have spilled our popcorn on the players if we wanted.
Maybe let that go out of bounds. Instead, it's played by Rufus King and brought down inside the 25. Partner, you make the call. Would you catch it or try to let that go out of bounds?
He had to catch it. If he doesn't catch it, the way the ball was spinning, it looked like it was going to land in that first spot at the other end at the 2-yard line. Like you said, even, he has to catch that and go forward. And I like the kickoff a little bit better. It was downfield. Now Rufus King is only at the 22-yard line, so I like that coaching decision to go ahead and kick it as deeper at least. I don't think it was as deep as that kicker.
If you let it go out of bounds, it's 1st and 10 at the 35, but really you haven't done anything offensively. Does field position really matter if you're not doing anything with your offensive line
right now? Well, you got a point on that, right. But I think the ball was spinning in such a way that if it hit the ground, it wasn't going to continue out of bounds. It was going to spin back toward the center of the field. It had a sideways feel to it.
See what Rufus King does here. It's not looking good for the Generals.
As in the Washington Generals?
Sacked. And it's gone from bad to worse for Rufus King. I think right now, partner, it's playing for pride's sake. I don't think a victory is going to happen for the Generals, but you don't want to get shut out, so find a way to at least get 3 or 6 on the scoreboard.
Well, and use this as an opportunity to get better. I mean, obviously this is going to be videotaped, so you have to go back and watch the video and figure out who they aren't blocking, why they aren't blocking them, and whoever they play next week, figure out where the rhythm is going to come from on their offense. Right now, nothing's working for them. I mean, they had one keeper for 15 yards. That worked. But, one play out of how many? 10 or 12 offensive set plays, and they get 1 first down. That's not going to do it.
2nd and 20. They run it out to the right side. Maybe got a yard.
Yeah, the pursuit from St. Ignatius and the penetration up front is just... Is that a fumble?
Nope, no fumble. He was down. 3rd and 19 coming up for Rufus King. And
yeah, this is when you type in 3rd and a mile.
I think you got to consider a hook and ladder or some kind of trick play. Try to keep St. Ignatius off guard here.
Well, and you might not want to pull off your reverse play here either, because even if you successfully run for 12 yards, you need that when you're 3rd and 9, not 3rd and
And you'd
19.
like to save that in the playbook for another game where it's more of a closer game, and you're going to need that to win the game.
Although you'd have to practice it.
You do.
I don't know. I think they're just going to drop back and throw it. But if I'm them now, I drop back and throw it deep. Their punter isn't proving to throw it or kick it any further than the quarterback can throw it. So whoever catches it, let it happen.
Shotgun formation. Southpaw throw. No one home. Almost picked.
Not even close.
Closest man to the ball was Alex Deach, the combination defensive back, running back. He's a fellow Titan with Rugai. He went to Catherine Cook.
Brings up 4th down.
All right, this is where you run the fake punt and you run it up the gut for 90 yards.
I wonder if that's in the playbook.
Greenfield on the punt.
Are you depressed that you can't do the fumble Ruski anymore? It's illegal in the NFL.
I guess I used to like those trick plays. I think some of them can be so tricky that I'm starting to think that maybe there ought to be a way to outlaw trick plays.
Punt coming up.
I just don't. At least it wasn't blocked.
Might have hit off the top of a helmet. Friendly roll for Rufus King and brought down inside the 40 near the 35 by the Generals.
Yeah, just the thought of getting beat by a trick play kind of rubs me the wrong way. I mean, yeah, sure you play close, tough football, but then at the end, some kind of a Statue of Liberty trick play wins it. I kind of like to think that football should be won by the team that actually wins, but a trick play, I guess, currently counts. I just wouldn't be a sad camper if they took trick plays out of the game via rules somehow. I don't know how you would do that.
Well, they got rid of that fake QB slide that Kenny Pickett did last year in the bowl game for Pittsburgh. So you might be something to that, partner, where they got rid of the fumblerooski, now they got rid of the fake quarterback
just one
slide.
at a time. Maybe when it's too tricky, you can't do it. Like players coming off the sidelines lined up as a wide receiver, stuff like that.
Petro on the run, bad throw.
Well, that's his first bad throw of this year.
Well, we weren't at the St. Patrick game, so I'm sure there were some bad throws that night. But
well, and what I want to know, and of course this wasn't warm-up either, those were connecting gorgeously in warm-up. Didn't look like the receiver got tied up with the defender. I think the receiver just kind of slipped too soon. That's why he couldn't make the catch. He tried to cut back and just slipped.
Yeah, you got to come back for the ball, help out your quarterback a little bit.
Right, and he fell over what he's supposed to do, right? That was my one complaint in the warm-ups. I think the receivers need to continue to come back toward the quarterback until they catch the ball. I can't wait for it to get to them.
Run up the gut to Rugai, stiff arm action. Inside the 25, Rufus King tried to do the peanut punch, but Rugai said, I don't think so, partner. Holds on to the ball inside the 25. Peanut Tillman, what a football player that guy was.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Rugai probably knows that trick. He also plays defense. What a football warrior that guy is.
Rugai or Tillman?
Well, I was saying Rugai, but yeah, Tillman was too.
1st and 10 for the 23. If I'm Rufus, I'd do an all-out blitz here, but we'll see what they want to do. Run up to Rugai.
Well, he's running through people. So he was in the arms of a defender, just kept going, a 9-yard gain.
He's like the high school version of a combination of Mike Allstott and Derrick Henry. He's got speed, strength, and fitness.
Yeah, I'm older. I was thinking Larry Zonka, but I'm right there with you.
You are old. Larry Zonka, that's back in the day.
Was he before you were born?
Yeah, he was. Quarterback keeper for Petro. He's just going to walk into the end zone. Beautiful block to get Petro in the end zone. And it was delivered by his partner in crime, George Lewis.
And he is a bigger back than his back. So he's a tough tackle. A very smart, speedy, crafty runner.
All right, if you're head coach Matt Miller, is that the last we're going to see of Petro for the night, or have him play a little bit in the third quarter?
That never occurred to me. That's a great question. I think you'll see him in the third quarter, but yeah, that's a great question. I think, though, that you're early in the season, so you still have to work on your plays and executing them. And it doesn't help to take the players out, knowing you're going to continue to play good teams the following week. So if it were me, I would leave him in. But, yeah, you got a point. Maybe he will take a look at the backups.
35-0. We will stick with the action here. Final reminder, the text line's open at 330-957-7653.
Yeah, and so to get to 49 points, they only need 2 more scores. I mean, this score is incrementing rapidly. 35-0 it's not even halftime yet. So by my dumb math, that's 70-0.
Remember, there's still there still is the running clock in the fourth quarter.
What's the
over
lead?
40 points
40?
in the fourth, yeah.
Yeah. So we're saying 73-0 probably won't happen?
It might. We saw 70 points last year against. That was a tough game. Von Steuben's players got COVID, and so most of their JV players were playing.
Well, what it can't happen here is Rufus has to not give up. They have to try their hardest, learn what works, learn what doesn't work, and show who deserves to be in the starting lineup. Because right now, if I'm Rufus King and I'm the coaching staff, I'm saying, who deserves to play next week?
Kickoff by Helms. It's at the 40-yard line. As Rufus King needs to score points in a hurry, and they're going to have to make some adjustments on defense.
That's what I like, a long kick.
Long kick inside the 10. It was picked up and brought down past the 25 at the 27 as it was brought in by Tubness Yang.
So Rufus King has started at the 30-yard line on that squibber, right? The 23-yard line on the one where the ball was headed out of bounds. And here on the long kick, they got it all the way back to the 27-yard line. So some good coverage by St. Ignatius, no matter how they kick it.
Petra, what a game for him. 2 touchdown passes, could have had 3, also a rushing touchdown. It's been all St. Ignatius today.
Yeah, Petro is really good, isn't he?
What a difference a year makes. Up the gut. Gets a couple.
White on the carry, Justin Stott on the scout.
And anytime you run into Justin Scott, that's a mistake. He's going to bring you down.
Yeah, good lineman. Well, he's been
2nd and 8
a large reason for that penetration.
at the General.
He is the
29.
only consensus 5-star recruit in the state of Illinois. He's going to be the first 5-star recruit in St. Ignatius history since they brought football back in 2003.
So, again, we don't know what college he's going to, but he'd be a good U of I candidate.
Ohio State and Notre Dame are looking at him. It's not looking good for the Fighting Illini.
That's too bad.
If they bring Lovey back, he might go to U.
Yeah, I was just going to tease you about him. Suddenly Lovey goes away and Illinois is relevant again. Now, how do you explain that? A flag.
Maybe they should bring Ron Zook back. Last time they went to the Rose Bowl, they had Ron Zook at head coach.
I don't even know where Zook is these days. Retired? Now, what was that, delay a game?
Illegal substitution on the Generals. Backs him up 5.
Got to do whatever you can to win, even cheat. Down 35-0. Mama said there'd be days like this, and there's definitely days like this right now for Rufus King. Run up the A-gap. St. Ignatius there. 3 players greet the running back, and it wasn't a friendly greeting.
You know, watching this Rufus King team, I'm sure they're good in their own right? But I think they're trying to run up the middle too much. I think they got to get wide. Run wide right, run wide left. Make St. Ignatius truly have to pursue the play sideline to sideline. Then put in a reverse in the middle of that and see if that works. But I think running up the gut, St. Ignatius is just simply too strong, and that is halftime. Wow, halftime, we got here fast, didn't it?
35-0 St. Ignatius. What else can we say? But it's the Jake Petro Show at Fornelli Field. We'll take a 5-minute break, then we'll give you some stats and analysis here on SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Made from an athlete's mind for all sports minds, Level Up Branding is a unique sports marketing and branding agency. offering athlete management, brand management, and so much more. We are powered by experience, currently serving athletes in the WNBA, MLR, NFL, and college sports. We are looking to take on more clients because everyone deserves a shot at their dream. Our goal is to help others by inspiring one person at a time. Level Up Branding was founded by Lauren, who was and still is an athlete. She understands the importance of being a well-rounded and built individual. It takes an athlete to know an athlete. We are built different. There is so much more to an athlete than what is seen on the field or the court. We make it a priority to understand our athletes. We want to know and understand our clients' values, motives, passions, and future goals. At Level Up Branding, we believe in helping others succeed. We believe in giving back. We believe in family. You are more than an athlete. Level Up Branding was founded based on the sheer passion of sports, community involvement, and the sense of belonging to a community. We were created from an athlete's innovative mindset and experience, and here to offer our services to like-minded athletes.
Hey, this is Sarah Greenfalk, owner of PsychEdge. How would you like to learn how to manage your emotions and reactions in order to enhance your performance and be successful in life? I coach and counsel student athletes, performers, and professionals, giving them the mental skills and mindsets to build confidence and resilience. My background in physical therapy, massage therapy, personal training, and 15 years of counseling give my clients an advantage. So if you are wanting to be recruited, perform better, or struggling with life balance, anxiety, or depression symptoms, I will stand by you until we reach your goals. Contact me today, sarah@aimtogrow.com, and be sure to visit my website, psychedge.club, for your monthly blog on mental health, sport, and performance psychology tips.
Broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Postgame Show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Hey, this is Sarah Greenfalk, owner of PsychEdge. How would you like to learn how to manage your emotions and reactions in order to enhance your performance and be successful in life? I coach and counsel student athletes, performers, and professionals, giving them the mental skills and mindsets to build confidence and resilience. My background in physical therapy, massage therapy, personal training, and 15 years of counseling give my clients an advantage. So if you are wanting to be recruited, perform better, or struggling with life balance, anxiety, or depression symptoms, I will stand by you until we reach your goals. Contact me today, sarah@aimtogrow.com, and be sure to visit my website, psychedge.club, for your monthly blog on mental health, sport, and performance psychology tips. Hey, this is Sarah Greenfalk here of PsychEdge. Do you want to learn how to improve your performance, improve your confidence, improve your resilience? Coming this fall, PsychEdge is releasing 5 workshop classes that will give you the skills to accomplish your goals with increased confidence and resilience. This is your opportunity to learn all the main psychological pieces of mental training in one place, plus the process I've developed to build these skills. Go to my website, psychedge.club and sign up for my monthly blog emails, which will include the updates on the class release.
This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and it's goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics, and we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
My name is Mary Ellen Schneider, and I'm the Fine Arts Department Chair at St. Ignatius. I'm proud to say that we probably have at least 50% of the student body involved in one of the visual or performing arts throughout their career here. It's important for the students to be involved in the arts here because they learn something that they can enjoy for a lifetime. There's no cap on how old you can be to be a musician or a visual artist and create. Our talented students are very creative. Beautiful things are displayed around the school. They also get very excited about productions and concerts, performing for others. And there's so many options for you and so much for you to have fun with. I love being department chair because it's exciting to be able to lead a group of other artists and to see them be able to be involved in the arts. Sometimes at the high school level, it becomes very selective. We have so many things here that are inclusive of students at all levels.
Halftime analysis brought to you by Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. 35-0 in favor of the Wolfpack. A couple of touchdown passes by Petro, including a quarterback keeper. 2 of them, in fact. And it's 35-0 in favor of St. Ignatius. And we wish Usher Williams all the best as he is no longer on the football team. But that's not the problem, partner. They need a lot more than just Usher Williams to win tonight's football game for Rufus King.
Well, sometimes that becomes a moral defeat for a team, too. You know, you thought you had a player and you don't, then everybody else has to pick up the work effort. But I also think the story of the day is the fact that last week, St. Ignatius lost to St. Patrick. They probably felt like they needed to win that game or deserved to win that game, and they don't feel like they played that well. So now today, they're coming out against Rufus King with a vengeance and saying, man, we didn't play well last week. We're going to correct that this week. So last week's loss is probably the reason the St. Ignatius is just unstoppable today.
Well, this is a team that went to the round of 16 last year. They fell short of the ultimate dream to Crete Moni. Crete Moni got blown out in the Final Four to East St. Louis, and this is a St. Ignatius team. They're trying to go to that next level. They've been to the playoffs. They finally got that first victory in St. Ignatius playoff history last year. Now this is a team that wants to get to the quarterfinals, the Final Four, and possibly the 6A championship game. And they're looking like it tonight. The issue was, where was this last week against St. Patrick?
Well, that's exactly right. And that's probably why they've come out with a fire under their belt today. So, you know, from what I see on the field, yeah, they're going to get past that top 16. They're going to get into the Final Four this year. But the question is going to be, can they break through the Final Four? Because if Crete Moni got beat in the Final Four last year by a lot, you know, can St. Ignatius do better than that this year? But they sure look good, especially quarterback and running back. Now, what I'm surprised we haven't seen more of is that long bomb to, who was number 6, Thomas Gloss, right? I'm surprised they haven't gone back to that. They don't need to because they're running the ball so well, but I'm a little surprised they aren't practicing that play to make sure it can work, unless they're holding it back for videotape purposes for when other teams are scouting them.
So last week we had the battle of Illinois versus Indiana. It was Bennett Academy versus Noblesville. Noblesville hung on for the victory last week. This week it's all St. Ignatius. So it's just a little bit of revenge. Illinois trying to prove everybody, hey, we're not going to go 0-2 in this border state battle. We're going to win tonight to go to 1-1.
Yeah, I think it's so much fun to talk about that, Indiana versus Illinois or Illinois versus Wisconsin, but I don't think to any of these players any of that matters. They're just trying to win for their own football team. But it sure is a fun thing to bring up, right? Okay, Chicago, the population, how many? 7 million, 60 million metropolitan area against Milwaukee, 300,000 on a good day? So maybe they got more population in Milwaukee these days, right?
Decent population. They're 35 in the Nielsen ratings. So it's over 1 million in their population. And
they do have a major league team.
Yeah, that beats the Cubs.
Right. Well, I was actually thinking of the Brewers, but yeah, they got the Bucks. But of course, the joke there is that, Wisconsin teams can beat the Illinois teams. And of course, you got the Packers, you got the Bucks. I mean, what more do you want?
Brewers beat the Cubs?
Yeah.
Well, we got a football game tonight, if you want to call it that. It's been all St. Ignatius, but really, the story of this game has been their quarterback, big number 10, Jake Petro. What have you seen this year from last year in terms of him throwing the football?
Well, last year they were a running team. They ran up the gut 2-3 times. I teased about the cloud of pellets as opposed to a cloud of dust, right? They run right, run left after a while, and very rare did they throw the ball at all. This year, you can see right away in the warm-ups, he's got the power behind the throw. He's clearly worked out in the weight room. There's some zip on the ball, and the accuracy is actually tremendous. And on top of that, the receivers can catch it. They're not dropping these things. And he's got some speed on the ball. So, he's a way different quarterback this year than last year. And he's a big runner. He's bigger than his own running backs. So he reminds me of Young. I would like to know last year where St. Patrick's Young went to play college football. Not a deep kick, again.
Yeah, definitely by design. St. Ignatius is going to wrap them up at the 30-yard line. And a little bit of a late hit by 75 of Rufus King and partner. It might get chippy as the score continues to get worse against Rufus King. I'm not going to say there's going to be fights or anything, but nobody likes to get blown out 35-0 at Fornelli Field.
Yeah, going to the next step and saying chippy. I guess I'm going to be a little surprised if Rufus King gets chippy, even though they're getting blown out this way. I just don't see it. I guess when we see it, we'll see it, but I don't think I would guess it or assume it yet.
The late hit was by T.J. Brown. This is a Rufus King team. They're named after Rufus King, of course, a famous general and helped found the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel.
I'm impressed you knew that. I did not know.
Well, they sent us an email, Bob. You just forgot how to read it.
Oh, I didn't read that email.
You don't read many emails.
So I missed the memo on that.
You did. In the words of Office Space, didn't you get that memo? You did not get the memo. Or you did get the memo, or you didn't read the memo.
Yeah, I didn't get that memo.
Yeah, you blew it.
You might have to go back to your administrative staff and ask how come I didn't get sent that memo.
Yep, it's in the memo, Bob. Rufus King High School, named after Rufus King, grandson of the Rufus King that signed the Constitution, and he's one of the founders of Milwaukee Public Schools. Out to the left, St. Ignatius again. It's such a team effort from St. Ignatius on defense. Do you think that's coached, or is it learned through training camp and in August football in the scrimmages?
Yeah, it's all of it, right? You have to have that innate desire to chase the ball, right? And, of course, absolutely, it's coached. And that's why I'm suggesting to Rufus King, they need to run a reverse or two to slow down that pursuit. St. Ignatius has great penetration at the line. They're pursuing sideline to sideline. But on the other hand, I like that play call from Rufus King. They've been running up the middle or off tackle a lot, quarterback trying to throw and getting sacked or whatnot, but they finally ran from the middle to almost to a sideline. So I'd like to see them run sideline to sideline. I think that's the only way they're going to get any kind of yardage.
35-0 in favor of St. Ignatius. If you're just joining us, if you're a fan of the Wolfpack, you've seen a lot. If you're a fan of the Rufus King, I apologize. What a hit! My goodness, Justin Scott on the pursuit with a huge hit, and you hate to see it, Bob, slow to get up.
Yeah, slow to get up. It was a good rollout. Nobody was open, so he took it himself. Looked like he had some yardage. Deked the first tackler, and then just got leveled by the second tackler.
Man, sometimes Justin Scott looks like a man among boys out there, and the difference between a 5-star and a 3-star recruit, it shows on that play between Justin Scott and the rest of the players on this gridiron.
Well, and the other thing, this is a turf field, so turf as in AstroTurf kind of field, right? So it feels like it should be harder, but when you walk down there, there's a lot of sponginess to it. There's a lot of give on the field. So if you're going to get decked or flattened by a defender, and it's going to be a turf field like this. It's probably not going to hurt as bad as some of the fields could look.
And you got to give credit to the St. Ignatius team, as we'll stay with the action here. They have shut down Nate White, who's going to the University of Wisconsin. He's a 3-star athlete, starter on the basketball team. He's an elite track athlete qualifying for the state meet in the 100-meter, 200-meter, long jump, and triple jump. Injuries late in the track season cost him the chance to be a state champion in those events. Not just compete, but be a state champion. But they just shut down this UW recruit tonight.
Yeah, they certainly have. Obviously, that's what's so fun about football, though. You know, one team, one player cannot make a whole team. One player can certainly improve a whole team. But St. Ignatius, they're going to have their share of college recruits as well on this lineup. There's a lot of talent here.
And if Matt Miller ever thinks about leaving, I'm sure there's a lot of other teams that'd be interested in his services. But I think he'll be a St. Ignatius lifer. But what he's done at the St. Ignatius program, I don't know if it can be matched.
Well, I always wonder about that. Okay, he has been here for a while, obviously an excellent coach. You would think you would want to get a coaching job at the next level in college. I mean, just never know. You coach at whatever, UW Stout for 2-3 years, all of a sudden you get picked up by UW-Madison, then you got a $5 million contract. Next thing you know, you're on Lovey's staff in Houston, or wherever he is these days.
I just got to give the credit where credit is due. Matt Miller, what a job he has done with this St. Ignatius team. And the journey is far from over. We have not gotten a number yet on the player that got hit. We wish him all the best and his family that are watching. When we get a number, we'll let you know.
Was it not the quarterback?
That would be P.J. Meese, but I thought it was handed off.
I thought it was a keeper because he was looking to pass. I think that's Meese on the ground, but I did not see the number either. But I think that's P.J. Meese on the ground if I'm betting. But I'm not the one going to Vegas in a month.
Well, thank goodness he's not holding the head. It's just the leg, and that is P.J. Meese on the quarterback keeper.
Yeah, he was trying to roll left and then throw downfield. There was just nobody open. It looked, even to me, like there was some green in front of him, and then that's where that one tackler, he deked, and then the second tackler flattened him. So now they're going to have a backup quarterback in, at least for a play.
Hey, I think his day's done. Why would you bring in your starter down 35-0, and your wide receivers have not been able to get any separation tonight?
Yeah, I can't argue that. We'll see what they do.
44 Cranfield on the punt.
I mean, this is a Rufus King team partner. They went 9-1 last year. They're a very good team. Now, granted, they play a lot of MPS schools.
They're a good Wisconsin team.
Punt, and it's picked up by Tommy Bloss and the Wolfpack. He's got some blockers up front at the sideline, drilled out of bounds, and maybe that will ignite this Rufus King defense on the tackle, Corey Johnson, the senior.
I have mixed feelings about that. That was a great tackle at the end, but I'm like, where is that drive on the other players? So, that was a great tackle, great pursuit, and they pinned him against the sideline and then crunched him to the ground. So I like the tackle, the hard tackle on that one, especially after their own quarterback just got crunched.
At the general 31-yard line.
So I like the fight.
So a tough decision by Coach Miller, but he's going to give Petro the snaps for at least one more drive.
Oh, I wonder how long he'll stay in. You tend to think he'll come out earlier. I think he'll make it through to the fourth, but we'll see.
Petro, a little handoff, and we're going to see that a lot tonight. No need to do quarterback keepers going forward.
Carry, a gain of 11.
Out to Deach, combo defensive back, running back, 189-pound tailback. Pretty tall guy, 6 foot even.
But you might have something here on the running back because that was Ditch with the ball as opposed to Rugai, right?
Reading is hard.
Well, Ditch, it's not Deach.
Deach. The pronunciation guide.
20-yard line.
That memo I read.
Another handoff. Right up the gut. Couple of shout-outs tonight from the text line. We do appreciate you texting in, as always.
You got a text?
Yeah, of course I did. I'm a popular man, Bob. 414 area code, which is a Wisconsin area code.
Yeah, you might need the name. Oh, they might get on my case for the insults to Wisconsin, even though they've got the Packers and the Bucks.
They live in Wisconsin, and they like St. Ignatius. Now, I'm hoping they were a St. Ignatius fan before the game, or they were a Rufus King fan before the game, and then they became a bandwagon St. Ignatius fan as St. Ignatius kept scoring.
Another touchdown. The keeper ran wide left. Another score, 42-0. Now, didn't you say there was a running clock at the beginning after 40 points?
Fourth quarter.
Oh, so it's got to be 40 points and the fourth quarter.
Yep, correct.
Because remember my 49-0 prediction? We're at 42-0. I might have to send you to Las Vegas with some of my money.
Now, Rufus King at any time can just throw the white towel and say, let's go home. I don't think they will because
No, they wouldn't do that.
it's just such a fun environment for a high school football game. But then again, do you really want to see your boys get shut out 75-0?
Yeah, right. Well, how fun, though. You got a St. Ignatius fan in the 414 area code.
Blitz him.
Would this game have been different with Usher Williams? I don't think so. It would have been nice to see one of their better players on the gridiron.
Problem is I didn't see him play, so I don't have an opinion on how much better would they be with that good player at that position. I mean, St. Ignatius is all over this, and you need good blocking to if he's a running back, you need good blocking to spring even a college-bound running back. And then the next question is, why is he not with the team anymore? We don't know.
Well, we wish him all the best, him and his family, as he continues his next pursuit, either academically or athletically inclined, and Rufus King.
And we hope he's listening to the broadcast.
And watching.
And why wouldn't he be, right?
42-0, man. Mama said there'd be days like this. And
so maybe we have to tell him, hey, text you. You might have to send out that number and wait for his text.
330-957-7653.
That's the thing about broadcasts nowadays. They're interactive. It's not just somebody broadcasting. You can actually say something to the announcer. Like who was the shout-out we had earlier? What was that woman's name?
Yeah, Mary Boyle.
That's right, Mary Boyle. So give her a second shout-out, right?
Yep. 712 area code, that's an Iowa area code.
Is that a St. Ignatius fan?
Hello from Little Italy. The Wolfpack have returned to Taylor Street. Now, she had the wrong English. She texted me has returned, but the Wolfpack are plural, so it's have.
Now, you have to stop looking for errors and typos in text.
Hey, English is English, darn it.
Yang and White,
just so that everybody knows. He does that to me when I send texts with typos in it. Good kick.
Picked up inside the 10. Good return. Wolfpack on the pursuit, and they'll drill him inside the 30.
Yeah, but there again, no matter where they kick it, they hold Rufus King inside the 30. So excellent coverage no matter where the ball goes.
So what do you want to do if you're Rufus King? Find a way to get 6? Trick plays or your normal offense?
Normal offense. I wouldn't try trick plays here for sure. And then, scoring is secondary. Right now, you got to work on first downs. If I were a Rufus King coach, I would work on run left, wide, run right, wide, run left, wide. See how far you can get on wide running. Stop trying to force it up the middle where you're getting nowhere. And I'm not sure I would be passing, especially now with a backup quarterback. So, run wide, though, not up the middle. You just aren't going to make hay against St. Ignatius up the middle. See, who is a quarterback? I can't see his number.
Thomas Vandenberg, 6'1", 190-pound QB. And late handoff, a misdirection, and that's going to work for Rufus King as they get positive yardage.
I like that, too. St. Ignatius' pursuit is so good. Misdirection is a good way to go. That'll slow the pursuit and make the wide runs even easier. Now, they gained, 7 or 8 yards on that? So that's one of their better plays on the day.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
The PA announcer above our head that's really loud says gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
David Zamora, the backup, getting warmed up on the sideline. His day might start soon.
No, you're probably right.
Meanwhile, the other backup in for Rufus King. Run off the left guard.
Yeah, but there again, a slow developing play. Sure, it looked like it was trying to go wide, but it can't be a slow developing play. It has to be a quick wide run.
And some of that's on the offensive line. They need to know where their tailback is, and they got to find a way to get him room so he can cut back in or bounce it out to the outside.
Yeah, I think the line is overmatched, though. I think that goes in the play call category. Yeah. They just got to get the ball wide, pitch out wide.
That's kind of the difference between football and basketball. In the NCAA tournament, any team can win. In football, when you're undersized on the offensive line, we saw that in that Sugar Bowl game, Hawaii against Georgia. I was rooting hard for Hawaii and Colt Brennan. They just couldn't get it done against that Georgia defensive line.
Oh, there's a collision in the backfield. I want to watch that one back on video, right? But it looked like the quarterback ran into the running back. The defensive lineman had them both in his grasp.
He got off the block, swim move style, and almost tackled the quarterback and the running back at the same time.
At the same time. Number 52, who is that? That is, there we go, Jake Rothgary.
Timeout, Generals. They're first.
And this game just reminds me of the Washington Generals, the way it's going. So we have 4th down and about 8. Another punt opportunity. We'll see if they actually kick
Just
it.
go for it. You're down 42-0. You got to find a way to get first downs.
I would never give the ball up here at my own 40-yard line.
Well, you know that Petro's not coming back into the game.
You don't know that.
Well, they've probably seen some more warm up on the sideline.
Yeah, you still don't know it. But I think right now they got to make a good snap and a good punt that goes high in the air.
If you punt it, if you want to go for it, you could.
Oh, I would never go for it here. But we'll see what they do. I wouldn't. But if they punt it, they got to avoid getting blocked.
Because no matter what, you're going to get blown out of the building. It's either going to be 50-0 or 70-0. Regardless, you got blown out.
Right.
So.
Except I'd rather have 60 yards of real estate instead of 30 yards of real estate. Well, let's see what they do. I don't see a punter.
Yeah. I would go for it, and they are.
Let's see what they do. Oh, my goodness. Well, I think it'll be St. Ignatius' ball on that side of the field after this play.
Under center, rolls out to the left. Slow developing play. Good catch. Up in the air. And it's incomplete. Would have been short of the first down anyways had he caught it.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. If he had caught it, still not a first down. The ball popped way up in the air. If there was another receiver in the area, maybe he could have snared it and gone for the first down. But it was like it wasn't intercepted. But what struck me is he rolled left on 3rd and 8 with almost exactly the same play that the last quarterback.
Yeah, but he's a right-handed quarterback, so it's harder for him to switch his hips, get in position to throw.
Well, but it was an accurate throw, but not enough for a first down. But that was almost exactly the same rollout where P.J. Meese got killed.
Yeah. Well, I don't like that because when you're righty, you want to roll out to the right because it's easier for you to see and easier for you to throw.
Well, they tried to fake it by going to the right and then going back left, but clearly St. Ignatius snuffed that play out.
Quarterback for the Wolfpack, number 15.
Now they only need about 30 yards.
Well,
new quarterback.
It's going to be a false start against the Wolfpack.
New quarterback, new cadence, and false start.
Well, the quarterback says the snap count. It's up to his offensive line to be paying attention to what the snap count is.
Well, that's true. I mean, you could argue there's no excuse for that, right? But when you're used to another quarterback and their cadence, you get somebody new, and, that hesitation might be enough.
Different verbiage.
Yeah, David Zamora says he's 2024, so a junior? Yeah. Is that a sophomore? Junior.
Junior, Bob.
Junior. You'd think a guy who recruits players for high school would know his years, right?
You sure you were an engineer?
Yeah, it was. Keyword was.
Was. Run up the gut. We're probably going to see a lot of that going forward. Although you could show some quarterback keeper looks with Zamora if you want. Haven't seen a lot of Rugai in the second half for obvious
No,
reasons.
he was out right away. Which, kind of went to your point. They took Rugai out right away. Why not the quarterback out right away?
Yeah,
so you were right in your assessment that the quarterback wasn't going to last long.
Yeah. They weren't doing a lot of quarterback keepers for him, so the potential for injury was low for Petro.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen some more pass plays, if for no other reason to practice them.
Zamora on the fake handoff, quarterback keeper to the end zone, touchdown for the backup. It's 48-0 SICP. The laugher continues at Fornelli.
So we need the extra point and then a lightning storm. Then I get my Las Vegas money.
So they're going to run the clock even though it's not the fourth quarter yet.
Oh, they're running it now.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, they sure are.
I understand why, because it's obvious that Rufus King's not going to win this game.
Right, but I thought there was, if you're right, that there's truly a rule that you got to wait till the fourth quarter and a 40-point lead, they shouldn't be running it. But maybe the rule only is 40 points. Oh, did he miss it?
So got it, 49-0.
All right. So that's what I projected the final score to be, and it's 49-0. Now we need no more scoring, and I look like a genius.
49-0 in favor of the Wolfpack. Something about their first home game. We saw it last year. They dominated Von Steuben. They got the shutout, and tonight they have a 49-0 shutout.
Yeah, they sure do. I wonder if it's something to do with the scheduling. I mean, maybe you want your first home game to be a win. I failed to read that memo because my home game at Harper College, we got blown out by Moraine Valley. Probably should have played an easier team.
That, or maybe you don't have the players to beat anybody at home.
Yeah, hopefully you didn't say that. Yeah, you were doing the broadcast there. Oh no.
Yeah.
I haven't played that whole broadcast back yet. Thanks for doing that though for us.
Anything for you, Bob.
Yeah, it's always good to have a professional broadcaster do our games. It's kind of a treat, although unfortunately the players didn't win that match. I'm very happy with the prospect player we're getting next year. I just got an email from her. Happy to go to Harper College, looking forward to it. So that'll make our volleyball team a little bit better for next year. We were ranked 8th, now we're 11th in the country.
Basteri to kick.
Hey, Basteri's back.
Deep for the Generals.
Wonder how many St. Ignatius volleyball players want to go play at Harper.
Bestri on the kick, and it's fumbled and then picked up by the Generals.
And again, they didn't get across the 30.
And a late hit from behind.
But no flag.
88, Mikey Cowens on the tackle.
So is this a good time to give a shout out for Angelo doing all the 1st and 10s and 2nd and 9s?
Yeah, Angelo's doing a decent job. We had a shortage tonight, and Angelo was able to fill in for us on the scoreboard.
Yeah, he's doing a terrific job. That's what you get when you get computer literate people. You get the job done right.
Have you seen anything positive from Rufus King besides that quarterback sneak? It just hasn't really looked very clean tonight for the Generals.
Yeah, what a great question. Yeah, you don't want to be negative. I mean, they're playing against a very, very good team. I think what they're going to see that's positive is individual efforts here and there, like this one. Oh, and it's going to get, well, what is it going to happen? There's a flag.
Flag on the play.
But here's something positive, a great individual effort up the middle against a good St. Ignatius team. But you also don't know, until we really look at it, how many bench players in St. Ignatius are on the field.
2 flags on the field.
It was a late flag. Usually on a hold, it's called right away. So
it looks like his hold is going back. The flag was thrown kind of at the middle as if it were a hold, but then, you're also thinking, well, maybe it was a face mask, just didn't see it. So the referees are having a conference right at midfield there. And Connor doing our videography, doing a great job. He'll be in Vegas next month with your crew.
Later this month
with your crew. Filming golf.
Yep. Long-range golf.
Right.
We'll take a break. It's 49-0 St. Ignatius here on SBS.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world.
49-zip. What else can you say? But it's been all Wolfpack tonight.
Well, there were a few things that happened right there. So it was a personal foul on St. Ignatius. The PA announcer said the ball's at the 31-yard line, Wolfpack ball, but it's Rufus King's ball. And it's at the other 31-yard line, farther away from us instead of right in front of our nose.
Run up the gut to White, but he just hasn't been able to get it going all night long.
Well, he did go up the middle pretty well. And you had said something about the game getting maybe a little bit chippy, and there was a personal foul on that play. And the referees put both teams to their sidelines, and each referee went to the respective benches and said something to the coaches. We only can assume, knock it off. And then during all that process, the clock kept running, which ended the fourth quarter.
2nd and 2.
Yeah, a game like this, the reason why they ran the clock early in the third quarter, you want to get Rufus King out of here as soon as possible. Games like this can get out of hand quickly. You were 2-0, you hadn't given up a point all year. And now the complete opposite thing is White is going nowhere fast, tried to change directions.
Right on the carry.
And that's something he's not going to be able to do at Wisconsin. So
tackle for a loss.
Try to do it that time. Why not? You're down 49-0, but hopefully he doesn't get into the habit of doing that once he goes to Division I Wisconsin.
Well, and he's a senior in high school, so he'll go and maybe redshirt a year, play a little bit, and then junior and senior year he could be quite effective for them. So it'll be fun in 5 years from now to see what he does at University of Wisconsin. He's got talent.
More and more players playing as true freshmen. I don't know if he'll start as a tailback as a true freshman, but He is quite a fun athlete to watch. 3-star athlete, starts on the basketball team, could have been a state champion in 4 events.
Isn't that something?
Run it out to the left, and St. Ignatius there to see Meese, and he's back on the field. And you love to see, oh, no, it was 54. I thought I saw 5. It was 54 instead.
On the stop.
But there again, a fullback right up the middle, slid kind of off tackle to the left. And St. Ignatius' pursuit was good. Didn't gain much. It's 4th and 8. So, here they're not going to punt, of course, and kicking the field goals out of the question. So they're going to go for it.
Rufus King is credited with organizing the first baseball game in Milwaukee.
Wow, now that's interesting. Rufus King organizing the first baseball game in Milwaukee.
He was a Republican, and he organized a large brigade of Wisconsin volunteers during the Civil War. He was brigade general of the Wisconsin 2nd, 5th, 6th, 7th, and Indiana 19th Volunteers, which was known as the Iron Brigade.
During the Civil War, 35-22, 157 years ago.
Right on the carry.
Yeah, you were a teenager when the Civil War started, right?
Yeah, I used to have a velociraptor for a pet.
A velociraptor? You say velociraptor?
Velociraptor for a pet.
He was appointed American minister to the Papal States and somehow was responsible for capturing John H. Surratt, one of the conspirators in the Lincoln assassination who had fled to the Papal States.
Interesting tidbits, that's for sure.
Thank you so much, Jeremy Nichols, the history teacher and the athletic director.
That's really nice to have those kind of little historical tidbits. I'm still enamored by the #1 snapper from St. Ignatius.
Yeah.
Out of the thousands of snappers across the country, he's the best. But we haven't seen much from him, right? I can't even think of a punt. And
on the run.
I guess we've had a couple of extra points.
How about this? John Kemp, the fullback, he's going to be going to Yale in his father's footsteps. Captain Jack Burns used to play at St. Rita, but it wasn't good enough for him. He decided to go from St. Rita to St. Ignatius.
Well, and St. Rita's a football powerhouse, too. At least they were. Are they still?
And now the powerhouse is here, partner.
The powerhouse has moved.
Field.
Now, the question will be, of course, now this is a great coach here, right? So you got to figure they're going to be good every year. But when Rugai and
who?
Petro moves on, next year they graduate, what will the team look like then? Of course, Zastro showed us maybe a little bit of a head start what they're going to look like next year. There's David Zamora, and that quarterback keeper.
Well, you can't think about that now. You got to think about your team right now and how far you're going to go in the playoffs. But Rufus King, good football team, but they do play a lot of MPS schools, and the competition level for St. Ignatius will probably be better as the season goes on. So are we going to see the St. Ignatius team we saw last week against St. Patrick, or are we going to see this version of St. Ignatius going throughout the season?
Well, and this is where I'm envious because you'll be here. I'll be coaching my volleyball team next couple of times. It'd be nice to see. But I'm going to bet that you're going to see the St. Ignatius team you saw tonight. I think they're a good team. They learned their lesson. Oh, here we get the long snap. I think they learned their lesson last week against St. Patrick, and you're not going to see that team again. Long snappers on the field. Number 56, isn't that him? Yep, Emmett Rhodes.
Cranfield deep for the general.
So we're going to see a perfectly thrown spiral backwards to the punter.
It's going to be a fake punt. He's going to run it 70 yards for a touchdown.
Well, that's how you get to be the best long snapper in the high school ranks across the whole entire country.
It's tough to snap that ball, man.
Somebody forgot to get in the huddle there, drinking too much Gatorade on the side.
Into the game now, Sam Opa-Yui.
Oh, he at least got a shout out. Here's the punt. Perfect pass back to the punter.
Yeah, not a great punt by Helms, and it's touched by St. Ignatius.
Oh, don't pick that up. So the ball was down to about the 31-yard line with a lot of forward momentum. I mean, that ball could have gotten all the way to, 25, 27-yard line. Probably shouldn't have picked it up.
This might be Rufus King's last possession of the night.
Yeah, with the running clock, 6 minutes and 15 seconds will go really fast.
I got to give credit to Rufus King. They could have had some late hits after the whistle. We could have seen fights, punches thrown. They've kept their cool and shown that they're true leaders both on and off the field.
That was well said. Classy team, Rufus King. It's hard to be classy in the 49-0 loss.
It's very easy to just let your frustration show on the field. They've been professionals, and they've had the sportsmanship, and I love to see it.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to happen earlier in the game. They just didn't look like it. There were no cheap shots earlier, no penalties earlier. They've got class. So does White. Nice run.
He's still playing hard.
White on the carry.
Are you surprised they're keeping him in the game, considering he's going to be playing Division I football next year?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. Am I surprised? Yes, a little bit. But I like that they're doing that because he's getting to see how well his team can do, even though it's probably second string of his St. Ignatius players. But let's see what he can do early in the season. They need to get some kind of offensive momentum for their next week
And
opponent.
maybe you want his coach at Wisconsin to see, hey, when you're at Wisconsin, teams you play are going to be better than you. Defensive lines are going to be better than the Wisconsin offensive line. How do you deal with not having a lot of holes on the offensive line?
Yeah, I don't think he's in there for his next year's coach. Next year's coach already wants him. He probably would rather he wasn't in the game. Downfield.
Good pass.
Oh,
Got to catch it.
Vandenberg's pass intended for
Well, but it's happened to both teams tonight. Good
Incomplete.
passes and should have been caught.
I mean, right on the numbers. You cannot put a pass to a receiver better than that.
Chris Bryant.
Ian
on the coverage.
Cranfield dropped it. The sophomore, he plays 3 positions, defensive back, punter.
Well, that's it. That's what serves you right for sending a punter out on a wide receiver route. He's not even on the wrong roster.
Do we need to get you more glasses?
Ian Cranfield, the punter out on a wide receiver
I think we're
route.
going to have to take you to Lens Crafters because you missed the memo and you're mispronouncing guys' names.
I never got that memo you were talking about.
Have you ever seen Office Space, by the way?
No, I
You got
haven't.
to see it. There's a famous line about getting the memo that you'll finally get. Once you see the movie, good run up the middle.
Yeah.
Nayron Love on the carry.
As Neron Love on the carry.
Blaskovich on the stop. First down, Generals.
Now, interesting, he's listed as defensive line and offensive line. He's not listed as a fullback, but boy, he's a load to tackle, especially with the second string St. Ignatius defense here.
Well, neither was the refrigerator, and they put him at running back anyway.
Oh, and of course, you and me both probably are like, why didn't they hand it off to Walter Payton that time?
86.
If you've never read Sweetness, anybody that's still watching the broadcast, if you've never read it, read it. It talks about something that wasn't talked about a lot, how Walter Payton was just devastated when he didn't score in that Super Bowl against the Patriots.
Yeah. You work so hard in your career and taken away with a bad play call. Oh, that was thrown up for grabs and picked off.
Gonna take it the other way. You got no choice, down 49-0.
On the interception.
And a penalty flag. I don't see what happened on the flag, but it was a good interception. What looked to me like a good tackle. Maybe he was targeted head first. 49-0 with only 2 minutes, 54 seconds. So we're going to see, 3 plays, 4 plays, and it's over.
If I were St. Ignatius, I'd just take 3 knees and punt it if you have to, or...
I would run 3 running plays and, give your chance of blocking the back. Give your team a chance to execute 3 more times before I give up this. Because whenever you have another team on the field and referees, you want to use that time to teaching moments.
Yeah,
but 3 knees would work.
Somebody that you don't really run the ball with a lot, you could give it to him as kind of a thank you for putting your
working hard
work,
in practice, right? Something like that. Third string quarterbacks, anything. Just execute something. You don't get an opponent and referees often, and the game is already shortened by the clock running. Now we're doing down 2 minutes and 12 seconds and a perfect song on the PA.
You think we should have running clocks at the NFL?
One going on for the Wolfpack.
There's the pitch, well-executed rollout and pitch.
That's when you've seen absolute dominance. Is St. Ignatius hasn't had to run the pitch play because they've been so dominant from the A and B gap.
Right. Oh, and he's injured,
no.
and that's why you do take the knee. I hate to see an injury here.
Yeah, and I'm not going to bring up I told you so, Bob, but that's what happens when you don't take knees when you should have taken them.
Well, they did stop the clock. Yeah, this reminds me of the Derrick Rose injury, right? We don't know how bad the injury is. He is down on the carpet, 34.
Not on the roster. It's probably a different number.
Now, I think they're going to probably take it. Well, they're saying to the team on the sideline, because there's an injured player on the field, that they all want to take a knee on the sideline, right? But I think maybe the next play it will be take a knee. Minute 51 to go, second down, 5-6 yards. Game's not in doubt. They just had an injury. You don't want to. I've let practice go 15 minutes early a couple of times when you feel like the team is just working really hard. You just don't want that injury 5 minutes to go in practice. So here's a case where you got an injury, minute 50 to go before the end of the game. You don't need 2.
You know, darn if you do, darn if you don't. You want the kids to have fun and play. They work so hard in practice. Some kids will never play because you have your 11 players you want on offense, your 11 on defense. A team like St. Ignatius, a lot of players play both sides of the ball, so they don't substitute as much as you would see at Loyola Academy or bigger schools.
Well, that's why I like that they ran a play there. Like, I was hoping they would execute 2 or 3 plays to give people a chance to execute 2 or 3 plays with, referees and a real opponent. But then look what happened.
Yeah, as a coach, you can't play scared, though. You can't think, what happens if we run this play? Will he get hurt? That being said, when your star quarterback is out there and it's 42-0, that's okay to put him on the bench, but you can't put everybody on the bench.
Yeah, that's well put, right? Maybe Derrick Rose should be out of the game, but, obviously your backup should be in.
Yeah, and that's a situation where if it didn't happen that night, I feel like it was an injury waiting to happen with him.
Well, true with anybody who gets injured late like that. If they're, I hate to use fragile, because that's not the right word, not for Derrick Rose either, but, somebody's going to break eventually with enough time on the court. And Derrick Rose, speaking of him, we went to basketball, sorry about that, but he's got so much torque on his legs when he cuts to the hoop. He was an injury waiting to happen and then got overused.
He just played the position differently than any other point guard. It was so hard to maintain that consistency at the point guard position. But, well, we do have the number 34. He's not listed on the roster that we got tonight. We wish him all the best for him and his family. You hate to see it. It looked like it was full on the knee, Bob. I didn't see him touch his head. And you hate to see knee injuries, but at least it wasn't to the head.
Usually when I see the injury, I know what it is. And I have to admit, I saw the play and I didn't think knee. But, he's down a long time, which would make sense that is what it is. It's not like he just had the wind knocked out of him. Didn't look like there was any targeting or anything unusual on the tackle. Just maybe the knee gave way.
He's being helped up. Can he put any pressure on the leg? That's what can tell you if it's a torn ACL or just a bruise. He's putting some weight on it, but
yeah, he's struggling.
It can't be that bad, Bob, or they would have brought the gurney onto the field right away. So he's able to walk it off a little bit.
He's not walking.
Now they're carrying him, yeah. Well, at least they didn't bring the gurney on, because when they bring the gurney on, that's not good. And I wish him all the best. And well, darn if you do, darn if you don't. If they'd taken 3 knees, nobody would have gotten hurt.
I think at this point you do take the knees.
When we return.
You don't. I don't give 2 guys a chance to get hurt, but it looks like it's not a knee from this. So we'll see what they do.
And taking the snaps now for St. Ignatius will be the 3rd-string quarterback, Emmett Callahan. Run up the gut.
Anything but a knee.
Almost scored again. That time
he wanted a touchdown. He got behind the defense, and just
20, good for a first down for the Wolfpack.
If he had another gear, he was gone.
If you're Rufus King, are you kind of unhappy that they did that and didn't take a knee?
No, I don't think that way. If the other team wants to try to run the score up on me, it's my own fault for letting them. And what are they running the score up with? Not their first string.
10 Wolfpack in midfield.
Anyway, this might be the last play, 1 minute 11.
Another running play, and this time not getting much.
Barnett on a carry, no gain.
I guess they'll get one more play in.
What a fun night to be a Wolfpack fan. And for Rufus King, I think if this is just one of those, we're on to Cincinnati games.
Right. And you know what? I'm looking at the student section. That was packed at the beginning of the game. It's pretty well emptied out now, except for a bunch of cheerleaders.
Well, they're forced to be here.
Oh.
They're fans, but they're also part of the team.
Yeah, running right up the middle, but still pushing, not taking the knee, which I like.
Barnett on a carry, and that'll be it from Fornelli Field.
The Wolfpack are going to win 49-0. So wasn't that your pregame prediction?
Yeah, whoever would have thought the game was going to finish 49-0, except for this guy, right? So you have to take my good luck with you to Las Vegas and put some money down on a team or two and see how well we do.
I'll put them on the White Sox and the Bears, and I'll lose $200.
Oh, yeah, don't put it on those 2 teams.
7:30.
As you're wearing the White Sox hat here at Fornelli.
Yeah, I'm a big White Sox fan here. Well, it was a good, fun game, and then it turned into a blowout. You're here next week. I'm not. I'm jealous.
Yeah, where will you be next Friday?
Oh, that's what, the 9th? I'll be
Yeah.
in Joliet playing volleyball against, it's a tournament, so we don't know who our opponents are going to be. But it'll be fun.
You could drive up to St. Ignatius to watch the game.
Well, let's see. I have to, it depends how late that game is. It is a possibility, right? I'll be in Joliet with the van and a bunch of volleyball girls. We got to stop for dinner. Then after that, I could drive here. It'll be
Ales
pretty
is
late.
right behind us. Take them to Ales and then come
right.
to the game.
Right. I could, put them in the student section over there to cheer. I like the shake hands at the end here.
Yeah, good sportsmanship. We saw it all night for Rufus King.
Right.
And just last thing I want to say, this was not a perfect game by St. Ignatius. Fumbling snaps, a couple of fumbles that they shouldn't have had, a drop pass. Clean those things up, and we'll see more victories for the Wolfpack. You don't clean those things up, we'll see what we saw last week against St. Patrick.
Well, I mean, on that point, you brought up a good one. It wasn't a perfect game yet. At the same time, the only imperfections were big. It was the 2 fumbles and that one non-catch, but everything else really was about as perfect as it gets.
I give them a B+ tonight.
B+? Oh gosh, you're a hard grader. I'm in A+ territory tonight.
I think I've watched the movie Remember the Titans too much, where Denzel Washington's character's like, you fumble the football, and I will put my blank, and then you will run a mile. Perfection!
Yeah, well, I mean, 3 plays away from what looked like perfection to me, but they were big mistakes. But if that's it, every play except for 3 is as well as St. Ignatius executed. I mean, look out, rest of the teams, and certainly they should be in the Final Four at the end of the year, looking at this team today. I like what they're doing. Rufus King praying at one end, St. Ignatius to the other, thanking the fans and the students for being here, even though there's not too many of them left.
They saw what they wanted to see, and then once it was 28-0, they were out of here.
They're off to the bars or to the restaurants.
So we will take a break. Post-game interviews coming up next here on SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary. A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it. Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Four years at St. Ignatius College Prep. means 720 days of walking into a cornerstone of Chicago's history, engaging with over 1,450 students from all over the city and state. If you were to imagine those 4 years by combining all the individual moments into days lived, what can it boil down to?
Time spent riding public transportation adds up to 30 days, moving outside your comfort zone, expanding your horizons.
You'll devote a sum of 78 days to competing on the track, field, court, on the ice, or in the pool. 8 days cheering on the Wolfpack, becoming part of something larger than yourself.
37 days singing and dancing on stage, finding your passion, uncovering new ones.
Navigating international diplomacies with Model UN for 48 days.
51 days working through complex proofs and equations in the Math Resource Center.
Celebrating our Catholic Jesuit tradition for 16 days at Mass in Holy Family Church.
25 days hypothesizing and testing in labs.
Participating in community service for 17 days. Living our mission as a woman or man for and with others.
32 days spent studying in the library. Okay, and maybe a few sleeping.
95 days of homework, learning vocabulary, developing presentations, preparing for tests, becoming a lifelong learner.
Waiting in line for a panini for 5 days.
10 days spent on the couches in formation and ministry, growing in faith and kinship.
Looking to the future with college counseling for 8 days, all the while supported through the journey.
And hopefully, 0 days in jug.
For so many, so much more, every single day spent as part of a community, a family, a network of friendships that extends far beyond 4 years. Every single day rooted in values to drive each day forward.
150 years of tradition stands at 1076 West Roosevelt Road. How will we write the next chapter in school history?
With you. We need the one and only you. A journey like no
My name is Rustin Broussard. I am the math department chair here at St. Ignatius College Prep. I think one of the things that I like the most about being the math department chair here is observing my other teachers and seeing them in action and promoting those skills and passion, ideas for classroom learning within the department. The second thing that I really appreciate in our department is that we offer several programs for students to study additional mathematics, to take more math in their 4 years here. Our students here at St. Ignatius will experience a variety of math classes, and it's dependent upon the student's readiness and desire to study math. Some of our students will begin in Algebra 1, some will begin in geometry, some will begin in Algebra 2, and then the class progression will continue along with some students finishing in pre-calculus, others finishing in calculus or multivariable calculus, or even differential equations. The additional offerings from our department in addition to classes would be a math team which competes against other schools in competitions for state and at regional level. Our department also offers an opportunity for students to be nominated to participate in a summer actuarial academy, and that is conducted by the University of DePaul here in Chicago, and it's a one-week opportunity to learn more about actuarial sciences. Our students will learn here in their math classes how to think, how to problem solve, how to use logic, and to make greater meaning of their world.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Postgame Show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith. Well, my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Welcome to the Postgame Show, brought to you by Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. My name is Kyle Smith, but I don't matter. This young man matters. The quarterback, Jake Petro, with a heck of a game as St. Ignatius wins 40 in their home opener over Rufus King. You know, Jake, we talked about it on the broadcast. It's the battle of Illinois versus Wisconsin, and Illinois looked like the better state tonight.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, we knew coming in this game they had some skilled players, and I know they're a public school in Milwaukee, so I don't know if their competition is, really top tier, but we know they had some good players, so we had to pick up our intensity, especially after last week. Shocker lost to St. Pat's, had a rough game, but we picked up the intensity, we brought it up, we came in here, and excuse my language, but we were pissed off. So that really helped us to execute, I think, today.
You sure looked like you were angry from the opening kickoff, and it showed. What did you see from the defense on that touchdown pass to Tommy Bloss?
To Tommy Bloss, yeah, I originally remember pre-snap. I saw how close the safeties were and the corners, how close they were packed into the box. So I knew all he had to do was get by that safety, and the rest is history. It's going to be a touchdown. Just lofted up to him. Stay in the pocket, stay calm. I remember last year a few times, where I wasn't as calm as I could have been, and that hurt us. I'd scramble out when there's barely any pressure. So stay calm, trust my O-line, and lay the ball where it needs to be.
You seem different throwing the ball this year. Has it been more work in the weight room? Have you had more chemistry with your wide receivers, or is it just different being a senior versus being a junior at the quarterback position?
Yeah, it's all three. Definitely better chemistry. We put in a lot of work with the offseason with throwing. I know we're a running team, but we put a lot of work in with throwing. Chemistry, I love those guys. Those guys are some of my best friends out there. And then weight room, I've been lifting a little bit, but I've been throwing as much as possible too, to really have a second addition to our game, because obviously of running, and we're very good at running, but we want to have that passing team that'll bring us to that elite level, possibly state championship is what we're hoping for.
You almost had another touchdown pass. Were you? Did you play a little? Man, you could have caught that Butterfingers on the sideline.
Yeah, no, I was just I told him it was okay. Next play, he's a really good kid, Clem, and he's catching that. 9 times. I think 10 times out of 10. I don't know what got to him, but it happens, and I make mistakes all the time too. So I just tell him, pick your head up. Next play, man, you're gonna get another shot. If not this game, next game, and just do your thing. He's a very good kid, and he just came up short on that one, but we'll get back at it.
Did you know that Rufus King had beaten their opponents by more than 30 points in their last 2? Not only did you beat this team, you shut them out, and you gave them a little taste of their own medicine, beating them 49-0.
Yeah, no, our defense, you got to give that shout out to our defense. They really played well. D-line, linebacker, secondary, everyone was closing on the tackles. Just the intensity, and what really helped, I think, was bringing the intensity up in practice. Coaches had us, doing more conditioning than usual, and really getting that game feel as much as we could in practice, which ultimately, look at the scoreboard. That's really what got us the scoreboard was, coaches helping us bring our intensity up and coming back after that first loss to Pats.
Final thoughts about the win tonight, and what's it going to take to see more of what we saw tonight and less of last week against St. Patrick?
It's going to take the same thing. It's going to take the same thing, but even more. We got to even up the intensity from how it was. The teams are only going to get better from here on out. So we got to keep our tunnel vision. If we score, keep that tunnel vision. If we're down, keep that tunnel vision. Adversity or triumph, whatever it is, we have to stay focused. Can't let our feelings or our mistakes get the best of us, and just persevere. And then as long as we keep that intensity, we're going to be golden.
Jake, thanks so much, and go celebrate with your teammates.
Thank you.
So for our excellent crew, for Bob Vilsaway, Connor Hocking, and Angelo coming in the clutch for us tonight with the score banner, I'm Kyle Smith, and we'll see you next Friday against Marmion here on Sports Broadcast Solutions.